Welcome back, everyone. It is Optic versus Newbee. We are here, TI day number 2. I'm Grant. I'm joined by Kyle and BSJ. How is it going, my little Dota cherubs?
I think it's Cherubs.
I don't think so.
Man.
I'm not going to even try to start with you guys right now.
Yeah.
But I'm excited
you guys handle
for
the
another series
math.
of
I
Dota.
got English.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, back to the relevant game at hand here. I haven't seen either of these two teams yet for this tournament. So it looks like Optic's, what, 1-3?
Yes.
And how's Newbee doing so far?
3-3.
3-3.
So full series up on Optic, but they played a full another series.
Yeah.
Optic did play against VP, though.
Yeah,
so
true.
it's not like this 1-3 is to be unexpected.
Yeah.
VP, one of the strongest teams, if not the strongest team coming into the tournament. And I'm curious to see, every team I feel like has a different, there's the core heroes we're seeing every game, the Wraith Kings, the Clinks, the Venge, but every team seems to have a different signature hero set that they choose in the last like 2 or 3 picks. Like for EG, we've seen a lot of Storm. I mean, we've seen a lot of Huskars.
Venge from Mineski.
Yeah, absolutely.
They love those heroes.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing the take on this patch that these two teams have.
Yep. I think Optic, I feel like Optic, at the end of this event, if their performance doesn't improve, would be like one of the most upset teams, because I feel like they really started a lot of what we see in the meta now. I think 3-3 specifically, it kind of trailblazed everything the offlane is at the moment.
Just the third floor.
Yeah, not just that, like the HOD, the minion heroes, like he sort of was the precursor to the Wraith King offlane. And they seem to have not found like that strat advantage where I feel like they relied upon to win a lot of their games throughout the year. And luckily it's a lone group stage, so we'll see how they fare against Newbee. We're going to first pick Weaver, something we've seen multiple times already, even in just our games.
Yeah, this Weaver's up there with like Enchantress and Dark Willows right now, which is, I mean, pretty surprising to me. It's just one of those heroes where you have to commit so many different resources to. Like Newbee's probably like, yeah, make Peter go even poorer than he normally is. Dominate him. If we get their sentry, that's a 1 lane, right? Like if you don't counter their sentry, you're kind of in trouble.
Weaver's a hero that usually requires multiple heroes to be picked against him in order to shut down his game. I think what happens over the course of patches is when certain heroes are really strong, like the numbers are buffed to the point where those heroes are just more powerful than the average hero. The reason why they're nice to pick this early on in the draft is because they force reactions, and then you have versatility with this hero. You're not going to always put him safe lane. You're not going to always put him in a core role even. We've seen even a support Weaver yesterday. So it just makes the other team have to answer what you're picking. And that's when picking these heroes, like these core role type heroes, is perfectly fine.
And to bring that, we discussed Mirana at the end of our last cast. This is going to be what I think is like the hero of the tournament. And I figured they might go for Avenge. This is an opener. I think we saw the game on stream 4. If I'm not
It was the last game yesterday.
Wasn't it?
That's and today as well.
And today, wasn't it in the EGOG game, or was that the other
it might have been
before?
We've seen it multiple times.
We've seen it a lot of times.
Yeah, but I love Mirana as just a hero. Like, look at Weaver, right? In like a 1-to-1 core matchup, we always talk about how you need something to kill, like address the Weaver. Mirana plus a stun does that the entire game, in addition to just having like one of the more well-rounded kits like in all of Dota.
She makes the support have threat on the Weaver.
Yeah.
So like if the Weaver sees Avenge walking at him at like 7 minutes, he can't just not care. Yeah, that's a big deal.
It's just like the perfect hero where you have like essentially 3 damage talents, right? 15 damage, 100 leap attack speed, 20 mana break. And you have an invis, you have a free smoke as your ultimate, and then a stun, a farming utility, and then an escape mechanism that also is a DPS steroid.
A free better smoke.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Yeah, exactly.
It lasts so, isn't it 18 seconds at level 3?
Yes,
like, you know how absurd that is?
And then you get the talent. Yeah, it's nuts. I think this Vengeful, right? We've seen a lot of it, but man, if you really want to watch some Vengeful games, if you watch Mineski's game, just how he plays that hero, like either poor or rich. I've seen him like 4 slot, and I've seen him with just brown boots, and either way, he just plays it amazingly. Do you think, is it Zyre?
Ninja Boogie.
Ninja Boogie.
Yeah, he was #1 fantasy player.
Yeah, yesterday. I saw that.
Yesterday.
That's so nuts. And I mean, he played Venge like...
I think it was 3 times.
Yeah.
Twice, 2-3 times, something. But yeah, I would 100% agree. I think that he was... It's weird. You don't really give the Fives much love. Like, we watched 2 games of EG yesterday. I don't think I mentioned Fly even once.
I mean, that's what they want, though, right?
True.
Like, I mean, because you played Five for a little bit, right? Like, it's better if, like, I mean, you want Sumail to be the guy, like, this is our star player, let's let people notice. I'm sure these guys are like, let's sit back, let's enable.
The issue is sometimes it's a 5. You know, I guess you just fly 2 under the radar.
Yeah.
And then you end up casting TI instead of playing at it. But
Yeah. Or you just people blame you if you're dead a lot. Like Pilot Eye, one of the best players, but people blame him for a lot of loss because he's 1 in 23 when it might be an Eternal Envy mistake.
Those are
not
the
your
worst games where it's like, oh, we threw this team fight. Now I'm Warlock trying to play some wards.
From behind, yeah.
900 gold, no boots.
Yeah.
And it's my bad. Like, can we stop feeding? Like, yeah, man, sure. You want to take the wards?
Yeah, go for it. You can go do it.
You give it a shot.
This Drow ban, BSJ, why did Optic ban Drow when they have Venge Marana?
I think it's just a good 4th pick, to be honest with you. And if you go like Venge Drow against Wyvern, I don't know. I think Wyvern as a hero does a good job countering the way Drow wants to play. It's not just like the physical damage, but also just the reliable deep push, allowing you to group up early and force a lot of things around the map. The way I look at this is, I'm wondering what Optic Gaming's way of dealing with this Wyvern save is going to be. I look at magical damage heroes like Skywrath that look to, or Ancient Apparition we've seen in the past. I don't like AA because you're against a Weaver and time-lapse can heal the damage off, but I'm just thinking that right now they don't have any way to punish the Wyvern Embrace other than swapping the person so he can't get embraced.
I like a Storm.
A Storm,
it's like a
to jump the
last
Wyvern
pick,
in the
perhaps.
backlines. So that's the other option rather than worrying about the save itself, just killing the
well, you
save
have to
hero.
kill the Wyvern in a game
Yeah,
like this. But I think the Drow bans, you see the PL ban from Newbee, you know they're thinking about it. And this was, I look at VGJ Storm as like the experts on the strategy, and that's their go-to counter pick. And I would say that that's like the go-to 5 if you want to deal with the Drow, for all the reasons you mentioned, and then the ultimate.
I love Bloodseeker here. I was just gonna. I was listening and I completely
It's
agree.
because allies don't de-trigger the Drow aura.
Yeah.
So even if you're like a Drow and you're standing right next to one of your teammates, like if you're forced to attack him, like you will just kill it, your ally, and then the Drow is now out of position and soon to go next. And Dark Willow.
Yep, a very picked hero. I had a question. You brought up the AA. Do you know that's one of the 20+ heroes that hasn't been picked? Are you surprised?
He wants to be in tri-lanes. That's the thing, is the hero's kit was always synergistic with having another stun, and you don't really want to be pigeonholed into picking a core with a stun, and then he wants to be in tri-lanes because, what is it called? You call it chili fingers.
The chili fingers.
Yeah, chili fingers.
Chilling touch.
Goes much better with 3 heroes. It's just a simply better ability when you have 3 heroes rather than 2.
Yep.
But I feel like Optic needs a way. I really like Skywrath here. Oddly enough, I think they need a hero that just instantly prevents these heroes from using their abilities defensively.
Okay.
In the year, like you have Willow that like can go unpunished as of now. Bane.
Bane.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, this is an instant. Newbie likes it apparently because they take Wraith King.
Wraith King Will is a very common combination we've seen so far.
I think it's also like the counter in a lot of ways to Marana and Bloodseeker.
It's a really good Wraith King pick.
Yeah, you buy Blade Mail against Bloodseeker and you just chase him in team fights. You can't really get ruptured because if you die once, like you're back alive again.
Yeah, you don't care.
There's only one way to remove Rupture.
It's also a massive percent-based slow. Bloodseeker relies upon his incredibly high move speed to maneuver throughout a fight, and for that 4-second interim where he's just turns into a snail, it's very easy to take him out.
Yeah, to go with that, can you guys give me that trivia? Does Wraith King's death slow go through BKB?
No.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
It doesn't. The one thing I was going to say about the Bloodseeker versus Wraith King is at least the Bloodseeker nuke is pure damage, so it does one-shot the skeletons, which is kind of relevant in the early to mid-game. Wraith King relies on the skeletons to represent the threat on towers. Bloodseeker in these type of games just needs to itemize to take longer fights, and I think Radiance will have to be in his kit, specifically this game.
Kyle, you had a disagreement?
Was it, are you sure, level 1 one-shot skeletons?
Not the level 1 W.
Yeah.
I'm saying level 1 Q, level 4 W.
Oh, yeah, well, I think it's...
Well,
that's
there's not
cool
very
and
many
everything,
abilities
but
in the game that
I think
one-shot
you
the
get
skeletons.
you get crushed really hard in the laning phase thanks to the skeletons because it doesn't kill them, and you just tank a stun to the face. Wraith King also utilizes Wand very well because you can just spam stun off cooldown.
Yeah.
It's incredibly high damage, high harass, and when you have a Willow in the lane, we saw the other day EG using this lane to great effect. And I don't think you want Bloodseeker against Wraith King at all if you're Optic.
Do you think, where's this Marana go? I mean, they're pretty open on Optic, right? I've seen 33 play Marana Bloodseeker. I've seen CC and C play. Are they just waiting for this ban, or do do you already have like a feeling of where they might put these?
I'm not sure. I am not a fan of the Venge Bane dual support. I feel like that's something I did in like a couple of scrims and was just really felt underwhelming. I think both heroes kind of do the same thing. They're both that weird hero as a support that can both be aggressive with his abilities or save, right? Like defensive sleeps, swaps, etc. But you're also now looking to make plays. It just feels a bit rough. I think you want Bane with Mirana. So if you're last picking a core with Venge, I think you just keep it with Bloodseeker. You take your CC and C hero last pick.
That's what they normally do.
I'm just concerned about the laning phase. I like that Medusa ban from Newbee. I like the Lina pick. That's a very solid, a very well-rounded draft. They've got a ton of mixed damage, plenty of disable.
Against the Bloodseeker.
And I love that their support combo provides all the team fight you could possibly need. And then these three heroes are adept at just shoving waves, playing fast around the map, and it fills all the gaps. I think you have a really easy formation to fall into as Newbee to find good fights.
Yep, I mean, we don't know the last Optic hero, but I agree, this is Newbee. It's just, you've got a massive amount of team fight and stuns, and you look at the other side.
Alchemist is the only hero I see that can save this draft, in my opinion.
Why would he do that?
They need to take long fights on the side of Optic, and I don't think Bloodseeker or Mirana are drafted to win this game.
Well, DK, he's sustainable.
DK is a hero that came to mind simply because what I was mentioning about Skywrath for 4th pick was that if you have this Weaver and this Dark Willow, if you look at the rest of Optic's lineup, at any point if they run into them, they can just push W and they're alive.
Yeah.
So DK gives them the instant stun.
How much better does this draft look if that's a Zai Skywrath and a Peter Venge or Bane?
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what I feel like is missing, is that you've got Zai, one of like the most talented 4 players, TI veteran. Now he's going to be playing have we even seen a 4 Venge? Because I haven't. And I don't really know.
I feel like all of them have been 5s, yeah.
It's like you just don't need items. You want some XP, sure, but like what
Aether Lens is like, right, and Ninja Boogie normally gets his Aether Lens, but that's about it.
I just don't like seeing heroes that are early drafted that aren't threatened by more. Like, if DK is showing on the map, Weaver and Dark Willow are unkillable, and we saw Crit the other day where he was just scouting around the map, farming freely, looking for solo kills as a Willow 4 position. That was like first rounded, and I thought that was so disastrous for the opponent just because it was against Newbee, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe it was Vici. No, it was Vici Gaming. It was Vici Gaming they were against. And it was one of those where you look at that and you go, how can they have a 4 position that's allowed to check bounty runes by himself, that's allowed to farm lanes by himself? And I think that they have, like you said, Newbee has this very well-rounded lineup. Weaver's only threatened by Rupture. Lina's going to be able to do the whole farm jungle until 1 or 2 items and then play off map.
Yeah. It's a completely unpressured Lina. Like this entire game. It feels like the perfect game. As Lina, you really hate playing against gap close. You don't want to be susceptible to multiple heroes. That's why TA is perfect as a counter pick, because you just blink on top of her and start shredding her, but all of Optic's damage is slow. So unless she catches like a stun arrow combination, especially since it's SCCC, I'd say he's one of the best, if not second behind Miracle as, you know, best Lina in the world. So
with all this being said, I favor Optic's draft. I personally think Newbee has the upper hand from just the strategy standpoint. I think Optic, these are comfort zone type heroes for them. Like, all these players have played each one of these heroes a lot. I know PPD loves his Bane. I know that 33 loves his Mirana. Pycat's played a ton of Bloodseeker. I see CCNC play DK all the time. It's just, do they have the tools to make, like, I feel like all of their plays have to be 3 heroes at least. And who makes space for the others? DK is a hero that's innately tanky, but you're dealing with this Wyvern Willow who, I think those 2 supports can kill you.
To simplify, I think wave clear is a lacking. And whenever you lack wave clear, it puts you on the back foot because your moves are now much more predictable. And you can never really play the game 30 seconds or so ahead. Look at Newbee, they're just going to plant Wraith King in the off lane, Weaver in the safe lane, and they're going to have their supports run around as Lina does as she pleases. And I feel like if SCCC gets rune control, I love, we saw Miracle in that Liquid game we were watching backstage. He's going this Phase Boots Lina build. He went the right items yesterday. I will say, there's no such thing as right or wrong items, I suppose, but we saw Moon do this weird Blink Ags yesterday. Miracle, Phase Boots, Aquila, Yules, Shadowblade, ends up with an AC BKB. He becomes a core and is constantly the strongest hero on map, and I think we'll see that from SCCC this game, and if he gets there, it'll be rough for Optic.
Yeah, I think Newbee is one of those teams, right? We watched them almost the full year, and they just felt underwhelming. But every time they come to TI, they're just a big stage team. You know, other people, they crumble. Newbee is like the complete opposite. It's like, what are they doing? And then you get to TI, and they're like, oh, they're good again.
Hey, I don't think it's any coincidence.
Yeah.
Them and Liquid, right? They're the only two teams that have maintained their roster since TI 7, right?
Yeah. Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And even though they struggled, you don't mind.
I'd give credit.
Very important to know.
I'd give credit to VP too, though, because while they did make one roster change, I don't think anyone can say that it didn't. It was a 1-for-1, and it made their team much better. So.
Yeah, and as BSJ said, if you didn't notice as well, both teams have 2 sentries in a game with a Weaver. Expect a lot of sentries, and especially this early, because that sentry in that lane just can win or lose a lane.
Yep.
That ward bottom by Newbee is quite interesting. Kyle, as a support player, what do you feel like that ward does for you? That's a very untraditional ward.
I love it.
Well, 2 things. One, it's always a balance. You want to place wards that give optimal vision, and you also don't want your wards to be countered. And it's just sort of where on the scale do you value this? I think this gives you a vision of the TP to the shrine, and it gives you information on who's going to be laning bottom, and it's never getting countered. So you could theoretically place it a little further, like top right on top of those trees, but I think it's fine. And as you can see, they're actually, they were switching the lanes. So Weaver and Wraith King were sitting mid, waiting to get information. They see that the Moran Avenger bottom, and they send the Weaver there. I think that's a very good decision. As we said, Wraith King versus Bloodseeker, very Wraith King favored. So that's why they ward there.
And Weaver versus Bloodseeker, not so Weaver favored.
Terrible for Weaver.
To lane against Bloodseeker, since he does so much damage, you need to be able to stun him. Oh, a nice fort on the creeps for CCNC to allow him to prevent the stun from Lina to get the last hit. Oh, okay, it doesn't get the last hit, but doesn't get the deny either. The fort being used very often in the mid lane, level 1 or 2, to simply give you that little advantage where the guy casts an ability that you're preventing him from getting a CS with.
So we do see a lane rotation multiple times already. It's just Pycat running from top to bottom to bottom to top.
This is a huge advantage for Newbee. This is why you place these deep lane wards, because if you get the lanes you want, it forces the enemy team to either accept the unfavorable situations or they have to move first, and that's what we see here.
Look at the top lane. Who would have ever guessed this would be a solo lane? Bane, Dark Willow, PBD. That's Dota right now. It's just all about the lane phases you talk about.
I will say it does feel like Newbee not being as fast as they might like that, they still have yet to get a CS on either of their cores in the side lane. Whereas 3-3 has just been bottom farming this entire time. I think that advantage is enough to equalize the lanes.
Yeah, and Bloodseeker found a good matchup too. He's against the Weaver. Weaver's a hero that relies on harassing you down, and Bloodseeker naturally sustains to that. So that's why Weaver's not the ideal core to deal with Bloodseeker in lane.
Why did Weaver? Why is Weaver? Did he run up top?
He did.
TPs? Why did he run top and follow the Bloodseeker?
That is very odd. They purposely avoided it at the start, and then now they're just accepting it.
I'm so confused.
Heavily favoring Optic in these lane setups on the side lanes.
Well, looks like bottom. A little bit of harass coming out. Zai a little bit out of position, but arrow will hit Wraith King. Zai will get slowed down, damaged up. KP definitely does have another stun, but he's nervous. 33, doing a decent chunk of damage. Stun will fly now. But it looks like everyone will just be left low. Some denies. Oh, man. Denying as a winter wyvern feels so nice. It's actually so hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
And just getting it, you're like, man, I'm good. I'm Faith. I know I'm good.
Dude, last hitting under tower with Wyvern, I've actually missed an Archer CS, even though it took a tower hit.
Yeah.
It was like not enough damage. I was very upset.
It's not fun.
No.
So these lanes, if you like Newbee's draft a little more, but now that this laning phase has kind of shown, you like Optic's lane a little more?
Yeah, they picked the Bloodseeker in response to the Weaver, not only because Rupture cannot be removed by anything such as time lapse, but also because Bloodseeker matches up very well against Weaver. And we saw Newbee have looked to avoid that, and suddenly they're just accepting it.
And the DK doing as well as he is middle is very important. They last picked the Dragon Knight for CCNC. If he gets ahead, he can control tempo and take towers, and that's crucial if Optic wants to take this game. They need to get out to an early advantage and maintain map dominance.
And look at this. We talk about why, I mean, everyone's talking about why is his Venge so good, this wave of terror spam you see, but now he's in quite a bit of trouble. Those little skeletons, too, are just going to be right clean. He doesn't have a fairy fire. Will it be enough? Doesn't look like it.
Pretty trip to active base. That was the idea, right? No mana.
But look at that, that's a 401 gold kill.
Yeah, no,
I mean, a lot of the times it is, right? It's nice you do get that free trap, but I've never seen a 401
That was definitely
gold
way
kill.
overzealous by Zai, but he's been playing aggressive the entire laning phase, so it kind of happens as virtue of he's been playing super aggressive, one time oversteps his bounds and pays the price for it, but it comes with the fact that he has done that the entire time. And they're winning the lane bottom. They're up in experience this far.
Part of that is because Newbee was walking back to their lanes, and like I think Mirana started off with an 8 CS advantage, so it is more even than you would expect, but still.
Ooh, look at this. CCNC wants to go for this bottom rune. Saw that SCC didn't get a top, but Faith, he was just waiting the whole time and just waste his time.
Oh, bottom lane.
Not too sad, yeah. Looks like it should be a kill. KP will go down 33. Early raindrops, so he just goes Wraith Band raindrops.
That's one thing. He was one of the first guys, again, 3-3 innovating a lot of the stuff that we've seen develop in Dota over the last few months, but he was the first guy to just skip boots. Like, I've seen him play Visage with no boots before, like, HOD pipe.
Yeah, oh, and look at this. They're going to leap forward. They're going to find the Winter Wyvern with stun. Will it be enough, Zai? They need one more attack. It looks like he does get it, but now 33's in a little bit of trouble. Just killed that little skeleton. Wave Terror will help out a little, but look at him come. He's just going. It won't be quite enough. Stun will hit, and Zai's just out. Looks like they are going to shrine together.
Very efficient usage.
Middle? Winter Wyvern actually TP's middle just to harass a little bit.
Tried to fill the bottle, I think, and he failed.
He failed, wow.
Okay.
That's a big miscue. That's 4 bottle charges you miss out on because you get the free one as you come in from
And the
base.
+3, yeah.
Yep.
That's math. Quick. Top lane looks to be a gank on Pycat. Can he avoid this? Doesn't look like. He's going to get rooted twice, and that will be enough to get the kill. And now bottom lane, they're going in again. This is a high-action match. KP taking a lot of damage. Zai, though, get a run out of mana. Has 6 stick charges, but won't get it. Middle, meanwhile, it's a gank on SCC. He goes down. Now they're going to try to turn it on PPD. Dark Willow will be happy. He gets an extra level, but his middle does go down. And look at this Dragon Knight boots plus level 6.
Yep. I love the build as well. One of the most frustrating things for me is when Dragon Knights skip their stun before level 6. Like, this is the build I think you want almost every single game. You play DK 2-1-2. Now you're a threat at all times, and you have that optimal regen as well.
And so what is this Bloodseeker looking to get done? Like, Bloodseeker and Weaver feel a little bit weird here. Does Weaver just want to get to the late game, or does he go more of a mid-game build?
It's hard because, as Brian was saying, like, you can't really play Dota against Bloodseeker.
So look at this. Silenced up. Do they have enough for a kill? He has the stick.
Weaver is hard countered by Bloodseeker in so many ways.
Yeah.
And the main thing about Bloodseeker in this game is he has 2 space makers for him. Mirana's off to a pretty good start. DK's off to a good start. So Bloodseeker's going to play the passive, like, defend towers with his silence.
This should be a kill. Laguna just flies out. See you later, 33. They're going to look for more on the chase down. They're going to find Zai, possibly. He's just running in trees. Stun will not catch him. He just runs. And that's a 50-50. He's either TPing or he's running, and it's worth the risk, right?
Yeah. The other thing is this top lane, Bane Bloodseeker, is like unplayable for Weaver. As soon as Pycat's got a couple more items, like right here, even the Willow is in so much trouble once he catches the sleep.
Oh, that stun, though, might hit both. No, Pycat does a good job of getting out of there, but look at this. He doesn't get the brain sap off Peter. Won't be able to get the kill. On the other side, Faith does go down, but look at this. They're still going in. Mugi and PPD, and they're fine with this. Faith does fall bottom, but look at this
kill
middle.
stop, but they're just bullying them away.
Yeah.
Weaver was already forced to shrine. Pycat's absolutely free farming now. He's going to get every single deny. He has like 8 creeps coming into his face right now.
And Peter, I think you just leave right now. Let Pycat finish his level 6, and then up top, he's going to be pretty much unplayable against. And that's exactly what he's going to do. This is something a lot of supports refuse to do, but Peter's doing a great job here by preventing the pull, run at the Weaver, just kind of trade, keep him out of the lane, and let your core get to that point where he's so strong you can leave him alone completely.
That feeling when you're in a pub and you ask your support to help you, and then this happens and you say, can you please now leave me alone for 2 creep waves?
Yeah, they
said, but you asked me to help. And this is a spot where if you don't need your support, he doesn't need to be there. And so that's something really important to watch in these games, is the choice of supports to leave the lane. And this is something that's set up because PPD denied the pull. If PPD allowed that pull to go off, the lane's no longer next to the tower for Optic, and then Newbee doesn't have to make this aggressive play.
Look at this. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, in the middle of that monologue, Willow
Sorry.
and Bane went down.
Yeah.
Very exciting, but we
Oh.
got that information. Thank you
Yep.
very much.
Did you-
PSK.
I thought, you know, I thought the viewers at home could tell.
Did you
those
see
two
that was so
heroes died in
sick?
the middle of that
Faith
engagement.
knew he couldn't get the rune, and the Venge was trying to keep it for him, and he used his Arctic Burn to deny the Arcane Rune on DK. That's actually so good.
That's a huge rune to deny.
It is,
as well.
especially because he's taking middle tower and
Oh,
maybe
nice
bottom.
lead.
And that's an arrow. Zai will take the kill. It looked like he was giving it to 33, and he's
Yeah.
like, nah, never mind. It's mine.
I thought about
I'll
it.
take it. Dude, the supports in this game are all level 4 by 8 minutes. No one's really under-leveled.
All right, I'm also starting to buy into more of this Venge 4. Can you click over his W real quick?
I would
That was-
love to.
That was the spell that was changed in the patch
pardon.
just to do slightly more damage, and
Yeah.
it's apparently enough to just make it pickable.
It is nuts. You see that increased. And now, top lane, PPD is going to get chased down. The bugs on him. Arctic Burn slow. Pycat will throw out his Rupture onto Mugi. He's going to have to stop, but he might just kill PPD standing here. Now, Willow will
Mid
take
lane,
it.
though,
Yeah, they're coming for the chase. SCC, though, smart. And
putting
he's
so much
running.
pressure on the lane. This is just space. As long as Pycat doesn't die top.
Oh, he knows. He got body blocked, and he tried to stun him, but Zai with a good dodge. Does he get the stun out? He does. Zai goes down. Will this be a kill? Still worth it probably for Optic. Oh, the wand. That was that. I can't believe he knew the body block there in Viz.
I love
That's
it's
sick.
TI, and I love that both players did the optimal move.
Yeah.
They both go down, but to get that kill, Zai has to trade his life to body block, and SCCC recognizes that the DK is closing, and he goes for the kill versus letting himself get blocked and outplayed.
That's the best thing. They just both did the right plays, but it ends up good for Optic because they get the better trade.
And yeah, CCNC is so far ahead. This is not a performance.
He's almost
that-
level
yeah,
10, right?
From him.
Sorry, my bad. I should be the one trying. He is level 10. Tread soaring, blink at about 900. But look at this. Bounty runes are out. We're going to see PPD. He's going to get gone on this. More than likely will be a kill on him. But Zai's here level 5. Could do some damage. Bane, still not dead yet. Gets the Nightmare. No brain sap yet. Will go down. CCNC on the backside. They're trying to get Weaver. He's not level 6. He will get healed up. We're going to see a Rupture onto Faith. He can't fly away. A lot of heal for the Weaver, though. Will they be able to get him? A nice terrorize. He actually will go down to Zai. And now we're going to see SCC trying to chase CCNC. This Dark Willow doing so much damage. Should be a kill. Yep, Dragon Slave comes out, gets it. But look at this. Pycat and Zai, they want to keep going. Will they? Doesn't look like they can. So a pretty back and forth fight, but I think it favors Newbee, right? You bring down that Dragon Knight. And now, so bottom lane, that's the static lane. It looks like it's 33 just farming currently. And Wraith King, we have not talked about him at all. He is about 2 full levels behind this Mirana right now. That must be pretty bad if you're Dire Squad.
I mean, it's a 2-armor hero, and the Venge W in the laning phase was taking him below that the entire game. Like, whenever you're playing a laning phase against 2 range heroes with less than 0 armor, you're in trouble. And you can see, look how much damage he takes, even with the bonus from the tower. Arrow?
Already using. Now look at Zai. It looks like he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. SCC hits the stun. Want to give him the kill. They do. And a good rotation there. But Wraith King just had 6 skills ulti.
Mid-tower, though. There is a catapult, a Bane, and a DK here.
Let's check the catapult's
This
vision
should
here.
be able to take out the tower. I think Glyph is on cooldown.
I love the blink purchase by CCNC. He knows that's what he's the setup for the rest of his team, enabling them to be aggressive.
Sounds like on the backside we actually have Dark Willow going for CCNC, but we're going to have to move forward. They get the kill on PPD. Winter Wyvern is slept up, and just another kill. You talk about that in the later game, but I mean, they kill the support, but what do they get out of it? It's a decent kill in the early game, though, right? Like every kill early, or do you still want to get something out of it?
That's a good rotation because it defends the tower. I thought it was just going to go down. I think that whenever you get a kill and you prevent that push, it's worth. To Brian's point, I am not a fan of the blink on DK. I think he's going to have to scale and deal damage.
So you want the Shadow Blade
Yeah,
instead.
in a few conversations I had with Fear when we made our
I wouldn't call it a
excursion.
team, but whatever it was,
The vacation we took to South America, he was adamant that Dragon Knights need to do something to scale. He loves the Shadowblade Maelstrom because if you go this blink build, when your DK form's down, you're just a creep for 50, 60 seconds.
Look at this. Pycat has the bug on him, but it looks like they will just get away. We have a TP in from PPD. He doesn't actually get the Nightmare off. Dark Willow will get arrowed for about half a second. Will it be enough? He takes the double Starfall. He's going to go for the Terrorize. He gets it off, but they get the Dark Willow after all.
And Yules, I'm just Yules on Bloodseeker, Blink on DK. Optic is all in on this idea that they're going to be able to run around the map continuously finding kills, and I'm just not sure that they'll be able to gain enough of an advantage from their plays to not fall off into the mid to late game transition around 25
I will
minutes.
say Yule's Blade Mail, Radiance, Bloodseeker scales quite well into the late game.
But that's a lot of items, Brian.
Well, I'm saying that you build them one at a time, and like all of the items actually enable you. The Yule's is an accelerating item. It makes it so he doesn't die to the Lina combo, he doesn't die to Willow, he can dodge the Wraith King stun so he can stay on the map, and then he has the mana regen to spam his W to farm. It is a nice item for the hero.
You play Wraith King, right? Why are these skeletons? Oh, you didn't see. They were just standing there. Well, they were like next to the tower, but they weren't attacking.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I was just staring.
I think Wraith King had to be left side of the tower. It's something to deal
Get
with
the
like
blink
his
stun
aggro
on
range.
Lina with the DK. That's the blink coming into play.
Should be a kill. Nice stun. Oh, and then ulti from Faith
Taking
might
damage
save
over time, though.
SCC. Yeah, he is, but I
bottle
think he'll
charge is
survive. Nope. Taka goes down to 33 on the backside. Now it's going to be a big fight. Wonder Wyvern trying to fly around. Over here, though, SCC getting chased by CC&C still. Doesn't look like he'll find the kill. They're going to try to turn it around on Mugi, possibly. They pop the dust. He's running away.
Yeah, he has time left.
He's
He
quick.
absolutely needs to use it.
Which takes off the dust as well.
Yeah. The thing I was going to say about the Blink
world.
compared to Shadow Blade is they have reactionary saves like for themselves on all these newbie heroes, and I think you need the Blink because if you have the Shadow Blade, sentries save them, but there's no counterplay to the Blink DK with all of their heroes. Every single one of their heroes dies.
What do you mean? There's Wyvern, there's Willow.
No, like on the map. We're not talking
Oh, look at
5v5.
this.
We're not going to be 5-on-5 in 14 minutes into the
Well,
game.
here we go.
Look at the way that Newbee has to play because he has a Blink.
I don't think that this is benefiting Optic. Like they're the ones forced to make plays and get kills and objectives. They have one tower.
True.
Like I don't think this hurts them. I feel like Newbee's lineup will scale better. They have Wraith King Lina. Like these heroes are Wraith King specifically. Like he's going to deal with Bloodseeker the entire game. I don't care if he goes Yule's Blade Mail. Wraith King doesn't give a damn.
Is this Wraith King Blink just got picked up to about 2 minutes after CC&C? I thought he was farming bad, but apparently he finds it. So you think Optic needs to play more aggressively right now?
How was he 3 levels ahead on Marana, but then now he's behind in Network?
Yeah, I was.
Compared to the Wraith
That's
King.
what I was
It's
looking
very
at.
Wraith King just I think farms significantly faster. Crit one-shotting creeps and the skeleton spawns.
It
Like
doesn't one-shot crit anymore.
I tested you. Good job, BSJ.
Thank you.
What if it's a range creep and you have a quelling blade?
Okay, if you do enough damage with the crit, it will one-shot the creep.
Oh, phew.
Grant keeping me in check here.
Well, what are levels looking like? Bloodseeker's about to get his level 10. Not 6 armor. It's a lot of
from
armor
Newbee.
for a level 1 talent. Man, that is
They
a
need to
lot
boot
of
this
armor.
Bloodseeker out of top. He's just farming top, spamming his silence on the creep waves.
And here we go. They're going to try to. Faith has his ulti.
I like the way Zai's playing. He's forcing them to go on him instead of any other core.
And here we go.
This is a gank that doesn't do anything for the side of Newbee.
He's looking like he's in a
They're
pickle.
farming 2 other lanes on the side of Optic.
This is where I feel like I wish I could pause the game right now. Look at where the creep waves were as he made as he
I'll
died.
look here.
Mid tower was taking pressure from the wave. Bottom was all the way like behind where the tier 1 is dead. So yes, they're getting space, but Newbee pushed those lanes in. This is Optic relieving pressure. Newbee already took those waves. It's just a free kill on Zai, and now they're rotating towards top. They placed vision all around the bottom and mid areas of the map. I feel like you're okay with that. I agree with your point. It's a good death. It gives Optic a minimal lead, but I still feel like Newbee will outscale based on the way that Optic's itemized. They're going to catch up.
I'm really surprised. Why did CC&C just steal the rune, the arcane rune, after his ulti was already popped? He could have gave it to his Bloodseeker, right? That was sorry, it was just a little weird thing. Well, they're going to try CC&C. TP's up top. Oh my goodness, Laguna Blade comes out. It won't be enough. They're going to try to run away. Grant, I can't look away, but there we go. CC&C, he goes down now. They're going to leap forward. Can they at least find this Dark Willow? The Venge Illusion helping out quite a bit. 33 gets the kill. And now the skeletons, I'll take them. And the denied tower by Optic.
We saw CC&C was 1,000 gold ahead of the game at a point. Now he's 1,000 gold behind Lina, and he's rapidly dropping, soon to probably end up 3rd, then 4th, maybe even 5th or 6th in net worth as this Wraith King Weaver just farm faster around the map.
So this is one of the most even games I think we've watched. Both teams have okay late game. Obviously, Newbee a little better, but I mean, it's less than 1,000 gold lead. Just keeps swapping. And so, Kyle, you think that favors Newbee more so than Optic?
I think, again, I don't want to keep harping on items.
That's fine.
There's so much to talk about, but like I again point to many a conversation with Fear, just saying that there is a certain way to play DK, and if you're relied upon to deal damage, your first item needs to help you do so. Blink DK is appropriate if your other cores have massive wave clear and your draft won't have any damage issues. When your supports are both low damage, high CC, and Bloodseeker is more of like a supporting core. Same with Marana, like they aren't relied upon to kill towers or carry through the game. DK's got to be your 1 or 2 here, and he's playing like a 3.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you're underestimating or overestimating Newbee's late game, though. I think
Well, we'll
Optic's
see.
going
What the
to take
heck?
this late.
It's
We'll find out.
Invis
They
Yeah, we
deny
are.
the Invis rune.
It looks like it'll
Both
just be a
teams broke their smoke. They got the arrow.
on the
Blink
backside.
Wyvern.
Yeah, they're going to try to. He's hitting from downhill, though, not doing much. KP will use his ultimate. And look at this. I was going to talk about SCC as boots of travel. He's going to be able to get into this fight, but it looks like they just want to
Boots of travel.
escape.
Wow, second item, boots of travel.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. He just wants to be involved in fights versus Bloodseeker?
You see all these mid-game items, and I think their approach is saying, we're just going to dodge you.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. They're going to go, and we're going to see a stun coming up on PBD. He should go down. He gets Brain Sap plus. No, he didn't get Brain Sap off. Just the stick, but now CCNC on the backside. He's looking. Yules into the air. Will be able to get a combo. No, they just want to get out of there. Kaka still alive. Nice ulti on the backside. It will make 33 go on him. Yeah, he does get the Rupture off. And now CCNC gets Lagooned again. Will they be able to do anything? SEC's just standing there right-clicking. Zai's going to be a little bit trouble. Dranslave gets the kill, but 33 on the backside will go down. CCNC getting right-click. Mugi has to ulti out now on the backside. They're in a lot of trouble. Will they be able to right-click down?
Wow.
Well, they do. An Optic.
All right.
They want to fight that.
I don't know if
Did
you
not
know
look
what
good
team
for him.
you're watching, but 33 is the one.
That's true.
player.
It's a very good
He is.
point.
He's very good.
He's gone all the way from 4 to 3 to 2. Now he's just the one. position
I
for
think he
Optic,
went
but
from
the
yeah,
offlane.
yeah. You're saying over the course of the year.
Yeah.
I feel like in this game he started as the 1 because he had a free start. Then he went down to like a 3, and now he's back to a 1. Obviously he's not the #1 net worth on their team right now, but look at the way Bloodseeker is itemizing. He's going BKB after Yules. He's not going Radiance.
Yeah.
He's going
no,
for
Mirana's the hard
utility.
carry in this game for sure.
yeah.
And luckily, I think the Maelstrom pickup is ideal because it allows you to just deal with waves, which is one of Optic's weaknesses in this game, and you just do so much damage after leap spam. I think that, to your point, the bots build up. I understand the point if you're trying to play around the map, but you don't want to take that 5-on-5 when your Lina has a bot instead of a Shadow Blade.
That should affect the way the entire team's playing if
Exactly.
he's going to go with that item. It's one of those where it doesn't matter which item you choose. It matters that you play according to what item you do choose.
And I don't buy Lina bots. I strongly think phase is just the way to go.
A lot of players
boost
hate bots in
occasionally.
general.
Yeah.
Right
It's
now.
just too expensive.
Yeah.
And you already run around the map hasted if you have 3 stacks.
I think, so that fight, it just felt weird, right? You're fighting into a Bloodseeker, and right, that's one of the things, like a black hole, a Bloodseeker. Isn't it just, you never want to fight against those big AoEs,
Not
and
in
they
a
were just
choke like
stuck
that
there. Yeah,
too,
they
yeah.
were, it was a very big chokehold, and there's only one ability. I mean, you have the Dark Willow and the Bloodseeker, and Bloodseeker ran free.
I like CCNC
Let's check.
identifying the Dark Willow, taking him out first. I think it's very important. Both teams go for the backline supports.
Yeah.
In that fight, they tried to take out DK, couldn't, and that leads to 3-3 picking up the quad kill.
So if DK doesn't go Blink, what was their approach to killing the backline?
Uh-oh. This is looking to be a
they
kill
Yules
here.
the stun.
Yeah, it won't matter, though. Well, will it? He's trying to fly away,
it
and it
matters,
might
yeah.
actually. His Arctic Burn's going to wear off in about 3 seconds here. Will they get the vision? He will land above the tree. Now he's just hiding. Oh, but 33. Guess what? I have found you. He's probably going to put himself under. No, he won't. And instead, we're just going to see a tier 2 tower getting taken top of bottom lane. It's not like Newbee's doing nothing. They do have a siege unit with a lot of skeletons, and look at them go.
This is good play. They have a ward above them on the shrine, and they just collapse around this tier 2. At worst, they're going to get a trade-off here. They do lose the Wyvern, but the way hero kills function nowadays, it's really not that big of a deal.
Yep.
And this is critical, too. The disadvantage for Dire is that you don't want to be forced to play around the bottom towers of Radiant because it
look
leaves
at
Roche
this.
undefended.
Here we go. Looks like they want to go on the backside. It is going to be fear out on DK. He's going to be stunned under. They want to just get this solo kill. The bugs will be there. A lot of minus armor. Zai not there to be able to swap now. They're going to continue chasing. No, they will not.
And that's why you got to kill the Willow. The magic damage output on that ultimate is absurd. It'll take out Dragon Knight by
Oh,
himself.
PPD, you are going to be in a little bit of trouble. They have the Sentry Ward for the Mirana ulti, and that's another kill and a counter
That
ward.
could be Roche as well. You have Weaver, you have Wraith King.
Bugs in 3. Let's
Lena's
see.
pumping out a pretty good amount of damage herself, going for a Hurricane Pike next item.
We see the bug is on. Here comes Arrow. Arrow will hit the Wraith King. Not the biggest deal, but you see Kaka just using his ulti here to help bring Roche down quicker. And DK, he's not going to be alive for this fight at all. Zai's going to have to do something cheeky here, I think. And he's thinking about, but look at this. SCC leaves the pit. It's just right here. He wants to get it. There's the arrow. It will give him vision. He will be ulted on the backside by Winter Wyvern, so he can't swap in and take it. He does get it with the Wave of Terror, though. What a play there.
That's huge
It's just
play
gold.
from Zai.
Oh, no. Zai will probably end up dying here, but he stole the gold. And that's, I mean, look at their gold lead now.
Yep.
They actually have 1,000 gold. They don't get the Aegis, but Optic's happy.
Was Dragon Form down there? I am very surprised they did not commit for that fight.
Well, do you think he
was
should have
down.
bought
He was
back?
dead, and
He was still dead.
It was down when he was
True.
dead, so he couldn't buy back, and like he didn't have it if he bought back.
But Zai, he definitely got the wave of terror, but a nice ulti by Faith on the Winter Wyvern to just lock Zai into place so he couldn't swap and just steal the Aegis. Once again, both these teams, I think, are playing reasonably well. Besides some of these item choices, it feels like they're both just playing at a high level.
Even like the Lina's decision to get an extra Wraith Band to finish this Hurricane Pike, part of why I love the Aquila purchase so much is that you can disassemble it for the Pike. You won't have that. I guess with bots, you don't need the TP slot, but still, like, his next item, you probably are getting rid of that.
They're going to have 2 BKBs coming out on Optic at the same time. There maybe 3. Yeah, Mirana just got hers.
Yeah.
The CCNC is about 500 gold off his, and Pycat just got his. So they're going to have a timing despite the fact that Newbee has an Aegis.
Yeah, especially because the Lina's like no damage item just yet, and 3-3 is ahead of the game. Plus, the big power spike on Mirana is at level 15 talent. You show up with 3 leaps, each giving you 220 bonus attack speed with those items, you wallop.
The thing about this Lina is #1 net worth on the team, but the net worth, as you mentioned, it hasn't done anything yet. Like, in terms of fights, like it has Boots of Travel and Yule's both. Like, yeah, Yule's gives you some kill potential, but it's mainly these are acceleration items. They're not the items that change the game for you or the way you play. Yeah. So if Lina can manage to get like this Hurricane Pike on top of her next item, which looks like she wants a Shiva's, then that's when Lina will really start to become powerful.
And, other point, Wraith King.
Go on.
Tagged, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
almost.
He has it already done?
No, almost. He's about
almost
500.
500 gold, yeah, that's huge.
That actually has got to have some incredible late game implications. I haven't really seen this hero enough to like really know where it fits, but
big gank.
That's kind of a crazy ability to have your heroes come back to life for 7 seconds.
Oh, Terrorize, it will fly out. It only hits onto the Bloodseeker, push them back in, but over on the left side, we're going to see Laguna instantly go out. An ulti from Faith on the right side will do it, but we do have 33 trying to kill Lina. Can't quite do it yet. Wave of Terror goes. KP will drop only a first life. Look at this 33 versus the Lina. Looks like they might both fall right now. They do. Faith on the top is going to die as well. And over here, Pycat just right-clicking down KP. He dies. A buyback coming from Faith. Will that be enough? CCNC getting right-click down, but Moogie, is he going to die here? Kaka still right-clicking CCNC. He will get the root down, but they get him. Moogie still on right-click. The bugs are out now. Should be enough for a kill. It is. The buyback from Faith paying off. But now Zai will just run out, and I think this is going to be... No, he's going to spawn back in. They want to get the kill. Pycat just right-clicking. It looks like Zai and Faith might go down. It's a 1-for-1 support trade, but now Moogie versus Pycat. He's chasing him, and he is revealed. One more hit should do it, I believe, and he gets it. It is the Aegis, but it's gone now. Let's see what he's got.
Here's Jules.
He doesn't get the silence off before the Sakuchi goes. And wow, what a... Was that a 4-for-5 team fight, I think, in favor of Optic there?
5 counting the Aegis, yeah.
Yeah, well, and counting the buyback from...
Oh, the Wyvern bought back?
Well, Wyvern did buy back,
Okay, so it's 6-for-4 if you count the Aegis.
Thank you.
Very, very close fight, but it's all going to be this second Roche. I think Optic needs a couple more decisive team fights, and then they need that Aegis. That play from Zai to just deny the golden XP was so massive for them.
Oh, is he going to be able to steal the rune? Pycat, oh my goodness. He BKBs to get the rune and survive. Arrow is going to miss, but the silence should come out. It will hit, but already Shadow Realm.
I like the Radiance on Pycat. It's late, but you need one. I think it's really important he buys one. What I was going to say about the fact that they need the second Roche, that was their first fight with BKBs on Optic. That was all 3 of their 10-second BKBs, so despite the fact that they took the Aegis, they went 6-for-4. It's not... Maybe, I don't think it's enough with those 3 BKBs, so they're going to need this Radiance to come online before the next Aegis. What's CCNC going for? He's going for a Sange.
Halberd?
Yeah, I guess the Halberd.
It's a great Halberd game. 5-second disarm on the Lina or the Weaver.
Or the Weaver,
excellent. And to your point, I think they'll just have damage issues. The Radiance will help cover for that. And you wanted a better Aegis carrier than the Mirana. Bloodseeker, Yule's BKB Radiance, you just feel good about that.
But look at this. We just saw the lead change from Newbee to Optic. Still extremely close. And as you said, I mean, as a lot of games do, it probably will come down to that second and third Roshan. One big fight could just open up a base push.
We saw yesterday EG had S4 on the Enchantress, and they chose to ignore him, even though they were the Enchantress had no farm. And in this game, if you watch that last fight, 33 was just chasing the Lina the entire time, and he removed the Lina from the fight, and it
didn't feel like they
really,
ignored.
The Lina like disengaged twice. They had
True.
2 force stabs.
Yeah.
He went like up a cliff, and he chased him to the ends of the earth with his 3 leaps. And I think that's really important that they remove this Lina's damage output as much as possible.
That gets tougher to do, right? Because he just popped a 10-second BKB, but look at this. We're going to have a Nightmare coming out. They're just going to stun the Dark Willow. Are they going to be able to bring down easily? The arrow on the backside won't hit anyone. Bane will just get hit, but it's low ground now. Rupture will fly out, and it looks to be a TP out. And see you later, SCC. BKB popped by Pycat. It is not looking good currently for this Lina. And she drops, and that's a huge kill. And that's almost level 20 on Bloodseeker as well.
Yeah, the bots have not paid off whatsoever, and I feel like it's a big punish on the draft of Newbee.
It's just greedy, right?
They shouldn't be unable to flash right now, but they're just so weak. And the BKBs from Optic are critical. They're even buying one on Ven.
Top lane, he set him up, he got the Nightmare off.
Does he have the Fiend's Grip? Sure does, like you said, but the arrow will come out first. Brain Sap's there. They won't even have to use Grip.
Wow.
I've seen 1 Grip this game, but Peter has played Bane so well without that ulti. Meanwhile, middle lane, KP, he's stuck out a little bit. He has ulti. CCNC blinks forward. Will be some slows. Will he get the stun up? CCNC gets the stun up, and now looks like just some slows on Zai, some slows on CCNC. He doesn't have his BKB. He does get swapped out. Zai helps him. Now Pygat gonna run forward. That is a lot of damage for Bloodseeker. But look at this. He will get slowed down. Will he go into the root? No, he runs in between them, but the tower, though, it's doing enough damage. Here comes the Rupture. We do have an Aghanims up on Wraith King, just swinging on Pycat now. Another Ags. Look at this. He's stunned up, though. Will be a kill on KP as well. As this Dark Willow, who will try to do some damage, but look at that, he gets the kill. Everyone dies.
I believe when they're in Wraith form, they are considered to have no health. And Pycat is running around for like 30 seconds with like a bajillion.
I learned that in Overthrow.
Is that so? That's how it works?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Bloodseeker, not so bad against Wraith King Ags, apparently.
Yeah, as long as...
Well, yeah, if you kill 3 of the supports, for sure.
I'm just saying, you get 11 seconds of move speed rather than the extra 4.
Oh, and here we go. He's gonna try to do some damage, but look at this, 33 just possibly could be. He is gonna look to possibly kill the Willow. Sun's gonna fly, nice Yule's usage there, 33, no arrow. They're gonna pop their ultimate. They already killed the tier 3. I think they just want to get out, but look at this. He is gonna get rooted into place. What a swap by Zai. There was Laguna. That very much could have been a kill, but Zai heads up.
On point with the swaps. That's the second big critical swap in a team fight, almost saving CCNC.
Yeah, but look at this. I think they want to go back in, it looks like. Oh, but they're still Midnight Shadow, but he is going to be able to go in. Moonlight, pardon me. Zai will get stunned. He's going to get Laguna. That'd be an easy kill on the backside.
So bottom PPD's picking him up, and Newbee knows he's going to be there because it's 30 minutes in.
Let's see what he can do with his abilities here.
He got 2 bounty runes. I think that's
value.
Oh, yeah, absolutely worth it. Because they got all 4, right?
Plus, net worth differential reward on gold is based on individuals' gold. So when you're a lowest net worth in-game Bane, it doesn't matter that your team is ahead. You're not actually rewarding your enemies with anything else.
This is PPD's patch.
Exactly.
Yes. Time to shine.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's all this next item. Like, Optic's had the BKB advantage for all of these fights. Eventually, Newbees come online, and the Lina will have the damage output. But right now,
MKB.
Yeah, like he needs MKB, BKB, and then this Lina is very scary. But until then, Optic does have a decisive lead. And to PSJ's point, the Wraith King Ags actually just changes the way Bloodseeker plays this game completely. Because if you kill off a Willow at the start of a fight, you've got like an 80 bonus damage Bloodseeker now for 10 plus seconds. And he has the Radiance completed. Manta next, which I agree with. It gets rid of the Willow route. You can juke stuns. And of course, side lanes with Radiance, Manta, makes sense.
I think Pycat's build has been perfect this game. I think Blade Mail or Yules would have done good for his first item, then BKB, and then back into the Radiance. He needed one because of these long drawn-out fights, these supports that protect themselves and they die to the Radiance while they're protecting themselves. Willow is completely owned by Bloodseeker Radiance, and like, once he has this Yule's Manta BKB, his job is to run, his already his job, but his job is just run around. Initiation
looks
on
like,
his
we are going to have a big fight. Laguna's going to come out. Peter will tank it, though. I'm sure he's fine with that. No one's quite died yet. They're trying to get the lead on the back line. Peter, the first one to die. Nice ulti by Faith to try to disengage. Rupture will fly out, though. They're going to try to run away. Zai swaps one out. Moogie's here. We're going to see Wraith King come back alive, though. And now Pycat, there's a lot. Yeah, the Fear taking him back. But look at this. Weaver will go down. Still alive, obviously, because the Wraith King not technically alive. But now they're just getting owned. And look at him go, like you said. Because the Wraith King, now Lina wants to get right, click down. They're doing a lot of damage after death, but not enough, and Pycat just isn't dying. SCC isn't quite the pickle was in Viz. Faith will go down on the backside. I have a feeling Kaka will juke, and he did. What a play by Peter. Arrow flies, and this is looking extremely Optic favored as of now.
Just outplaying. How many times do we harp on teams for their target selection? Newbee's going after a Dragon Knight with BKB. He absorbed so many spells, and then another kill thanks to this Yule. Oh, maybe not.
Won't get him. But this is a full racks. They can go top, right? Creep wave is there as well. They're going to actually just go for a kill instead on Willow, which is pretty nice. They're letting Peter do max amount of damage while Slep. Pycat says, I'll take this. Radiance will be enough.
That's why the Radiance is so important. Wyvern and Willow type heroes, they can prevent you from hitting them. But the Radiance on Bloodseeker doing the extra 40% damage
look at
with Blood Rage does about 85 damage a second, which is insane against supports.
They did that smoke gank too, right? When they knew the siege units were coming. They knew they win this fight. You've got 6 siege units in the base all of a sudden. It's time. It's those little timing things, right? It's hard to see as a pleb such as myself, but then you look and you're like, that's just genius. How do these teams do it? A lot of playing Dota.
I mean, they play Dota in North America.
Yeah, that's true.
You learn a lot.
Best region on the planet.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. We're so far.
Sometimes. 10% of the time.
10%.
Assuming Optic
1 out of 8.
closes this out, NA team's going to be 5-0 with us watching. I think that has to do with like the mojo or something.
It's the hometown favorites, right?
True.
That's how it works. When you're on home turf and you got the home crowd cheering for you.
Yeah, Canada counts as NA. I think EG has more Canadians than Americans anyway.
If you look at the North American continent, geographically, Canada is on it.
It is.
So you can't really argue with those facts.
Technically, isn't Greenland also on it?
We'll take, if there's ever a pro Greenland player, I've already claimed him. Don't worry. Or Iceland, or is that not? Is it just Greenland?
I think Iceland's given to Europe, but nobody
Okay.
wants Greenland because it's too cold.
Okay.
Supposedly, it's an urban legend that the Vikings intentionally misnamed them so that people would like go to Greenland and then.
Oh my! You saw that pickup by Murano. We've seen it before. He has a lot of damage. Now he has lockdown.
This is the 3rd time I've seen the Murano with like Hex after these core items.
Yeah.
I actually really like that decision, and it's because you also have so much burst damage thanks to Leap in the window of Hex. Roche is up.
It is.
Talked about the second rush being the
Look
crucial
at this.
objective. Newbie smoked up, looking to make it happen, but this
They
is the
scan
spot
one.
that we saw yesterday.
They are going to find Zai. They're going to try to bring it. Oh my goodness, Laguna won't do anything quite to Zai. And now CCNC's BKB. They want to get this Winter Wyvern before he can get anything up. They will, but he will just put himself under, even though he shouldn't have. On the backside, it looks like they're running, and Pycat's just chasing down 2 heroes by himself. We're going to see Faith die. I mean, he already did. Now will be a TP out by Lena, but a sheep comes down, and now this Wraith King is a lot of trouble. They have vision on Weaver from this perfectly placed Sentry Ward. See you later, Weaver. He will go down. Now Pycat, he's going to be zooming around pretty quickly. Will they get the kill on CCNC? They're trying so hard. They finally do, but look at Pycat move. I don't even know where he's at right now. He is just flying around. 33 killed everyone. It's a good game.
Wow. Dude, that was, first off, excellent play by CCNC, just somehow ensuring that he's the guy that's got to die in the team fight. But that swap from Zai to start the fight forced Mugi to ult away. And he was so afraid, just stuck in the middle of no man's land, like on a choke point all by himself. And excellent play from Optic to close the game out. I think there were some questionable decisions from Newbee. I do not think we'll ever see a Wraith King Eggs against Bloodseeker again, that's for sure, because that was ridiculous.
Probably didn't know about that interaction based on that choice.
That was probably another, you remember at the summit, the whole techies spike carapace thing. You see that once and you're like, that's just never going to happen again. Probably going to be there. Yeah.
I will say, more to compliment CCNC here, I don't think they win if he goes Shadow Blade.
No.
He jumped the Wyvern every single fight, and even if the Wyvern didn't die right away because they had no immediate follow-up, they were able to play the fights because the Wyvern just had a DK interface the entire fight. And these type of supports that are so position-based rely on themselves, like they have an ability that either protects themselves or their teammates, and they're forced to use it on themselves. It just removes them from the game. And his job in that game, in this role on this team as well, is not to carry. He is not their carry player. I feel like on certain teams, this would never work to go Blink, BKB, Halberd. But when you have Pycat and 33 type players on your team, like those 2 players are going to carry you, and they've been very consistent throughout the year. I think Pycat's one of the most improved players in the scene, just always showing up. I think his item build was exactly on point, as I mentioned, 9-1 and 16. And
most
33.
improved on a player who's played since 2004. That's pretty impressive.
BSJ wasn't watching back then.
Okay.
I mean,
he's been around for like 4 months.
That's fair. I
Dota
can't even argue at
infant.
that point. I was going to come up with some witty.
No, but you're right.
Yeah.
Pycat, like, he did used to, I mean, he's just been a very complacent carry, right? And this year, it just feels like his team has elevated him, which makes him look better as well. Just, he definitely has
It's
improved.
just consistency.
Oh, I would point to the lane shenanigans from Newbee. I felt like they rotated to give themselves unfavorable scenarios. And the item choice of SCCC, bots, Hurricane Pike, like, I feel like this, you want to BKB this game. And finally, Zai, we're talking about Pycat and 3-3. He did 20,000 damage in this game, 5K more than CCNC, and more than any player on the Dire side. So I certainly underrated Venge specifically, and it makes sense that Optic opens Venge Mirana. I know Mirana's great, but the Venge is just doing so much more damage than I thought was supposed to happen.
Zai did exactly what CCNC did, but from the support role. He just threw himself in the middle. And you saw that last fight, he's BKBs.
Yep, and we do have some highlights from the last game, and I mean this was a very close game. It was like 5 really big team fights. There was those ganks you said early game, and Roshan, right, always comes down to Roshan. And there, yep, this is the big
you always
one.
see CCNC every fight jumps the Willow or the Wyvern, forcing them to use the defensive spells on supports rather than cores. These Wyvern ultis are used to run away rather than actually initiate the fight or counter-initiate in a significant way.
Yep. And this looked like it was going to be a super amazing fight on the side of Dire, and then just you have 33, right? He was unhindered the entire game.
He focused Lina every fight.
Yeah.
Please pay attention to that if you're trying to learn from this guy. He always plays fights and always itemizes so well on 33. Watch how he plays his fight. He just chases SCC.
Yep, the whole way. They go up a little bit more.
He's like, wherever this guy goes, I'm going.
Yep.
And it's so important that he does that. Like when we saw Enchantress take over the game yesterday, it's because honestly, S4 played it right, but he was allowed to do that.
Yep, and it's something I think VP probably does the best, what I call target swapping, where they all understand the critical hero that needs to go down. And a lot of times, it'll play on the outside. It's a maneuverable hero. But once it pops out, they find him, they identify him, they try and take that guy down first. Whereas Newbee I felt like got distracted a lot of the time trying to focus down CC and C, ignoring the fact that 3-3 was ripping up their backlines. And just an excellent game played by Optic entirely, in truth.
They, as a team, showed their understanding individually of their role in the game, not only in itemization in and out of fights, but how they played the fights. And this is the kind of stuff that I think it takes to be a team that's a contender. And Optic hasn't looked too hot in terms of their record so far, but as we mentioned, it was against VP. And
VJ Storm.
They were tight in one of the games as well. I think Optic is like probably my biggest question mark here. Them and OG were the ones I'm like, all right, they could falter and go out last in group, or they could make a run for the upper bracket.
I agree. I think Optic's a team that has a lot to prove, and I don't think they're going to be anywhere in the middle.
Yep, and I think the best part about this game is we all learned something. No Wraith King Ags if you're playing against a Bloodseeker. I mean, it's a very good thing to learn because we've seen, this is like our 3rd Wraith King Ags we've seen now, and I don't think we're going to see it again.
It looks like Senna just like running around just way too fast, and it's just not balanced once you have 3 heroes dead on the enemy side.
Yep. And look at that, PPD, I don't know. As you said, right, with this buyback, he finds with the sleep, I don't know, it just felt like all of Optic played well. It felt like Newbee all played well until these team fights. It was just the focusing on DK, like you said.
I think they just didn't understand the game they were playing as well as Optic did. Like, CCNC's got a lot of flack over this entire year for holding his squad back. But one thing that I think people don't realize is that he has an incredibly high understanding of how to win games and what the timings and items necessary are to take things out. This game, as you said, over and over, he identifies the targets he needs to take out. I think his item choice, we can disagree with the Blink, but mostly just getting BKB ASAP. Same with the rest of his team, whereas Newbee finished the game. They don't have a single Black King bar. It doesn't make any sense. Optic's got 4. That's the tail of the tape right there.
And that's the thing, right? It's better to buy an early BKB than to never buy a BKB. And we see that right there.
It's like saving for retirement. Maybe you didn't do it in your 20s or your 30s,
but
your 40s.
Just never? You're just going to die alone in the dumpster? Or what are you saying? I don't understand.
You're going to die poor.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to die alone. Money doesn't buy you company. It just buys you...
Well, it could.
Whoa. Okay, you know what I meant.
That's not what you said yesterday.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. But hey, what's up? That was... I don't know. That was definitely the closest game I think we've watched the whole time. Just a few decisions, as you guys said. It did come back to haunt him. Can we talk about this? So do you guys like Hurricane Pike on Lean or not? Or what's like the situation for it?
The problem I don't like about Hurricane Pike here is that the way he dies and the way he gets removed from fights is by getting ruptured. So the way that he can react to that properly, in my opinion, is to buy items that encourage him to sit there and just hit people, because he has no other choice once it gets ruptured.
To your point, the Weaver did the same thing. He went Dragonlance Mjolnir, which I like Mjolnir if you have 2 prerequisites, which is A, a person to put it on, and B, things that immediately proc it, a la Darkseer Ion Shells. Right? There isn't anything that's doing this unjukable AoE damage, you know, that's like many ticks per second, right? Lincoln's BKB, like something that gives him survivability. So as you said, he can stand there and actually fight Optic's heroes. But it felt like the moment the Willow or Wyvern were taken out, their team fight is gone. And I guess that's also a little bit of the danger of having all of your team fight abilities stuck on your supports.
The problem is Lincoln's just doesn't feel like a good item against Bloodseeker because you can pop it with the Blood Rage.
Low
and
cooldown, very.
The Blood Rage goes through BKB, so you can't go BKB Lincoln's and say, I'm not getting ruptured, because he just pushes Q on you and then ruptures you. And the problem with this game is one of them's going to get ruptured, and what I've seen, like really good players that I've seen watch that, like I'm basically like, I get ruptured all the time. How do I deal with this? So I watch them and they just buy items like BKB, even though it doesn't block the rupture, and they're just like, I'm gonna stand here and hit you until I die. And it felt like SCC, since he built the items he did, he'd get ruptured, and his impact on the fight was just gone.
It felt like any of the cores, with the exception of Wraith King. And he kind of
and he's never gonna rupture the Wraith King.
He also removes himself from the game when he buys Blink Eggs. Like, I'm talking about how I don't like it on DK, but honestly, Wraith King with those items,
ignore him.
Literally 0 damage on.
He's a stun.
Literally, Kyle. You were talking about words you don't like hearing. Is this an actual literally, or is he doing 1 to 2 damage?
In the dictionary, literally now also has a definition of not literally.
That's not what I read in Urban Dictionary, but yeah.
There's just a lot of people that use literally improperly, and then because Webster's such a nice guy, he's the one that writes the dictionary.
Thank you, Webster.
All the way since 1742.
I called him Webby, but yeah, you probably don't know him as much.
But yeah, it's accurate. He does get 10 damage from the Ags. I was mistaken. You're right.
You're good.
And
a whole 10 damage in 30 minutes.
There you go.
You
Shout
10
out.
attack speed from Ags? Or are you talking about agility?
The 10 agility, yeah.
It's not just raw 10 attack speed, is it?
But it's 10 attack speed from the agility.
It's 1-to-1?
Yeah. Agility for agility heroes is 1.25.
Oh.
But for
So
strength
if he
and
was an agility hero and he got X, that'd be
How much would he get from that
12
then?
and a half, which that's when you're really pumping out the right clicks. But
True.
either way, I feel
And
like
move
going into
speed.
the next game, I honestly, we favored Newbee's draft at the beginning of this game.
But the laning phase started, and you guys turned around, which you guys were correct. They went that way.
They literally swapped out of
I
good lanes.
swear, Kyle.
What?
They did, though. They did. They
What?
did. But why do you have to use the word literally? Did you have
now
to?
it's stuck in my head.
Okay, well, we'll try to get out. I want to give a shout out to Cock on the Dark Willow. 10-10-10, hits the triple-double
True.
impressively. He had a, I don't know, that hero still feels really strong. Like in team fights, right? You just throw those brambles down. Brambles own.
I feel like
Hard.
he was responsible for killing DK in the mid-game fights where he actually went down.
Yeah.
But the team was like locked onto this concept like, oh, CCNC's out of position, we'll take him down. But if Willow dies first, like there is no
They have
damage to
nothing.
take him out. And
Exactly.
I think that's one of still the strongest heroes in the game. And we were talking about AA earlier. That's actually that was my pick for highest win rate, because I think when that hero actually comes out, people pick like Bloodseeker,
like
DK. They just explode when you put down an AA Vortex and hit him with an ultimate.
The one thing about this DK pick when we saw it was I was looking at the draft and saying they needed a way to punish these Weavers and Willows from their ability to escape. And so when you have this last pick, you have the choice between we're going to pick our win condition hero or we're going to pick something to fill in the holes in our draft. So you'll oftentimes pick the win condition hero if all the holes are already filled. But they're just like, okay, maybe Bloodseeker Mirana aren't the most traditional hard carries in the game, but we're just going to let them be our win condition, and this DK is going to fill the gaps that enables the rest of the team to be successful. And I think that's how Optic plays, honestly. If it's 33-0 picked last, it's always this Broodmother, Visage, Cheese,
real game changer.
It's going to win the game for you.
And something we didn't even bring up is that Optic's drafting a second pick left them completely open. That Mirana could be mid, the Bloodseeker could be mid. So they're always threatening the Brood, Visage, Huskar if their draft allows for it. But they can also just go for the balance and take up a DK. And in truth, I actually think DK is more of a 10th pick nowadays than it was than it's a 1-2. You know what I mean? Because it's just
he's too easy to deal with.
Yeah, but I love it against Lina, especially we saw the initial glyph on the stun, and then he ends up missing the Archer CS. It's some game-breaking stuff. And then he ends up winning the lane.
For people who haven't been playing Dota recently, you win or lose, especially the mid lane, but every lane in the first 2 creep waves.
What?
Meaning, not every lane is decided that early, but if one guy gets 6 CS and you get 2, the lane's almost over.
But what if your 2 are range creeps and his aren't?
True. What if you get
and
6
you get the
denies?
deny?
I'd have to do the calculations. I haven't. Let me whip out my notebook after this stream. It's.
I mean, if there's one thing BSG knows, it's going mid in Tier 1 Dota 2. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
But you have
I was
started playing
told-
Tier 1. I mean, you have been
Actually-
started playing middle. Go on, though.
Didn't you challenge someone to a 1v1 recently? Like,
Yeah, he was really good.
Isn't he
though.
here?
Yeah, I mean, he was top notch.
How did that go?
I think
all
he's
right.
like top 25 on the leaderboard, something like that. He's been playing Dota like 10 hours a day for the last 3 years.
I do got to ask you, though, BSJ, how is middle different than carry? Because you have been trying it out, right? People
It's
at
the
home
high
might
ground,
just
low ground
think,
mechanic
is
and
that
how close
that's mostly it?
you are to the tower. It just the way the creep equilibrium and everything in regards to the position of the creeps in the wave works mid. Because of how close the towers are and the high ground, low ground between the range creeps missing, for me, it throws me off completely because I'll watch these players and I'm like, wow, everything they're doing, like keeping the wave on their hill in the right times, pressuring the tower in the right times, all of those dynamics are different in the mid lane than it is in the safe lane. And that's why certain players like Sumail, like, yeah, they are still just high-skilled players and you put them in the side lane and they'll win their lane, but then you put them mid and their understanding of these like intricacies, exactly when to do what, and how to play the lane is just so unique to the mid lane that they just crush it.
Yep.
And that's what it's the little things that make the mid lane.
and you also don't have a support to blame. If
That
it's
is
your
my
lane,
biggest issue with
Is
the
why
mid
you
lane,
like playing.
is if I lose the lane,
you just tilt.
it's on me.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with that? If I'm
You could blame your drafter.
I could.
Maybe, if it's
I could,
an
I could
opponent.
blame that they had 10th pick.
True,
They had 10th
that.
pick and they counterpicked me.
True.
But if they don't counterpick me, what else do I got? You're running low on stuff to scapegoat
Yep.
in that
I've
circumstance.
got a question. So we
That's why I
talked about
switched off.
Yeah.
how ownage Optic was. Newbee played good for about 15, 20 minutes. You're fine with their draft. You just want them to, I mean, if it was same drafts but they changed lanes, you'd be happy with that, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
what do you want them to change? Just
Just make sure
Just
they
that?
get, like, if you pick
Lanes?
heroes for a specific purpose, we were talking about how Wraith King's are good against Bloodseeker and Weaver's not. Put them in those spots. Like, Lena, buy spots, avoid fights. You know, there's a little bit of lack of continuity in the stuff they picked and the way they plan to play the game. And I think if they can bring that together, like Optic had synergy in the way the three heroes, the three cores built, the way the Venge played fights, and the entire lineup, like, maybe it wasn't a better lineup, I'm not saying one way or the other, but it felt like Optic played their lineup better than Newbee did.
Yep, makes
So
sense.
I don't think Newbee has to change anything in regards to the draft. Just make sure, remember your roots. Why did you buy those? Why did you pick those heroes?
Yep. And you see that, man. It's weird seeing IO banned against the Chinese teams, right? Because they're the only teams actually picking at this event compared to what the last couple TIs
IO
were.
Gyro is
it's back and they
playstyle
banned it.
more so than the Western scene.
I think after that game, Optic feels like they're the better team. And,
You think?
They seemed right now. I think strategy more like draft plays a role in it, but it's also like a team's full understanding of the game that they're in and how they're going to win it. And I thought Optic was just strategically more advanced than Newbee.
Yeah.
Item choice is a good example, but even the way they played the map, hitting certain timings for talents and items, and then just smoking into Morana ult to like go find a fight. I think they're on top of things at the moment, and I don't want to get cheesed by IO Gyro if that's the way they are. They didn't even want to get cheesed by a Drow. They banned that last game, even though they had the Venge Morana themselves.
Do you first pick the Weaver again?
Please, no. No.
I don't think Weaver's a good first pick, but I think he's an incredibly scary second pick. So I feel like teams are partially experimenting with, can we just get away with picking this hero first?
What's wrong with just taking Dark Willow? Overall first pick. Is there like
Agreed.
why show your one Weaver that you keep
I
as a
don't
one
like showing
into
it for one,
Bloodseeker instead
Well, how about
of
this?
I like that pick. I think having
What?
a first pick hero that's generic is good in general. Meaning, like, if the Weaver is going to be first pick, like you said, we mentioned how the versatility makes it possibly viable, but then you have to adjust if they just counter your Weaver.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. They picked the Weaver, it got counter. Like, the Bloodseeker removes that hero from the game. 1-to-1 counter. If I'm in a pub and I pick Weaver and the opponent carry picks Bloodseeker, man, am I really upset. I'm just not happy about that. And there's no other hero, maybe Void, but Void's just not nearly as popular in the meta right now. That just destroys Weaver.
Void also doesn't crush you as hard in lane. Optics to deal with Silencer or the Weaver themselves.
Yep, they'll take an interesting versus a
Maybe-
silencer.
You think, because the two heroes I'd say I wasn't expecting to see this much were Venge and Weaver.
I was expecting
I agree with
Weaver.
that.
That hero's
Is it
toxic.
because of the minus armor, you think? Is that just a mechanic that's undervalued, right? Or was undervalued until now?
I think especially in Venge's case.
Yeah.
I agree. And then Weaver, I mean, right, the bugs, it's the fact that it's the minus armor and you have to focus on him.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're just wasting time at that point killing him. And
I love that pick. I love Prophet. I believe that'll be a support hero, most likely Zeiss, although I've seen Peter play it too. It's just a
Same.
one-to-one, like you crush Silencer. The same way we were watching, I think it was Undying versus Wraith King. And I'm like, this is going to just totally skew the lane in favor of the
that
Undying.
Wraith King was a 4, just to be
Yeah,
clear.
and it's the same with Prophet. Like, you are the strongest level 1 support hero in Dota 2. Silencer has no method of dealing with trees and has, I think, 2 base armor. Like,
I want to see
you're
Bloodseeker
miserable.
right now. I think it's by
No, that's, I do
it's
not
so good
like
against
that.
Prophet.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
How is
why
it?
not?
What?
Okay, wait,
Because
guys.
Prophet harasses you down in lane.
Okay, that's your point. Now you go, Kyle.
Wait, are you saying Bloodseeker's good against Prophet?
Yes. Not in the game, but in the lane. And you immediately have to address this problem of in the laning stage.
All right, hey, BSJ gave his
What?
point, Kyle. Let's hear your
What's
point
the,
now.
What's the point is exactly what I was going to say. Prophet harasses the shit out of Bloodseeker in the laning phase.
It's
and
not enough.
What do you mean it's not enough? That's how you beat Bloodseeker. You pressure him in lane. You take a Prophet support, insert
You have to
core.
represent kill threat on the Bloodseeker.
Prophet is kill threat. You get you sprout him. You hit him with the Blightstone.
Well, that's another option. Is
All
to
right,
go DK.
we're doing a 2v2 challenge.
Yeah,
in like
we're doing a
7
2v2.
hours.
Silencer.
I get Zach, you get Grant. We'll see who goes. who
Okay,
takes
that's
the-
not fair.
Well,
You're right.
Why?
Neither
At
is
least
the lane
yeah,
of
two of
Prophet
us.
That's
versus
not
Bloodseeker.
accurate.
Two
I
of
have
us
Grant
are
on
at
my
TI.
team. If you've seen his 1v1 specials mid, it applies to the side lanes.
No, I don't know.
There's no difference.
From how I see, I mean, if Poor Man Shield was still in the game, I'm sure it'd be great for Bloodseeker. But I still think, how much armor do the Treants have?
2.
Excuse me, 2.
0.
0.
No, it's 0. It is
Zero.
0.
It feels like it definitely could go. It feels like that's one of those things. How well do you know your own hero, right? Like, do you know how to micro those Treants around the Bloodseeker,
Maybe
or
I'm
can
just playing
Bloodseeker
against
just heal
people
up?
Maybe
strictly
I'm
worse
just saying
than I
your
am. A
support.
problem, like, very
You're
often
signing
faces.
up for Silencer, Bloodseeker in the safe lane against my Prophet plus core. You're
Yes.
going to lose, like really hard, and we're gonna kill your tower, and we're gonna kill you, and then you're gonna be farming
Kyle.
at the tier 2 at
Yeah.
7 minutes, talking about how
5 seconds.
your
My
Silencer player is
support
bad.
cost me the lane.
Exactly.
But guess what?
What?
There's no Bloodseeker. That whole
He's gonna be
conversation
picked.
was irrelevant. You
He's gonna
actually
be
think
picked.
he will?
He's going to be picked or banned.
Okay.
I'll be shocked if Optic doesn't ban him here.
I,
How shocked?
yo, we gotta drop this topic.
We talking
I
about
can't handle
lightning?
this. Huh?
The DK here, I feel like sets up for a lot of, like, another hero that comes to mind for me for Optic that's quite meta right now is Ursa.
Turn to battle.
I can see Ursa.
Yeah, deals really well with DK and Silencer, and overall, you pick Ursa when you have absolute last pick because Ursa's never your win condition. He's more of like an enabling hero, like that just counters the opponent and makes their game harder to play.
Yeah, I really like the Void ban from Optic. It isn't super meta, but it crushes the Weaver, and Newbee is one of the few teams that will play it because they love running the more traditional, like, let's make our mid some ranged hero that handles our damage output. That's Triple C, famous for his OD, his SF, his Lina, and Mookie loves playing those, like, 2s in the save, or not 2s, but he plays carry heroes that aren't hard, like Void, Gyro, Bloodseeker. That's
I
his
can
bread and
relate to
butter.
that
Are you-
for sure. Where does the DK go in that case, though? The 3 position, you're saying?
It's
Off lane
possible.
DK?
I
There's
doubt
the
it, though.
I like the draw ban.
I was about to say, if that
They
doesn't
better
get
ban
banned,
Drow.
you got a Weaver Nature's Prophet plus 3 more pegs. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
And also, you can't. I think Dragon Knight can be the one. Like every game I see Resolution play it, he's top net worth.
Yeah, but then you're going like Shadow Blade, SNY kind
Yeah.
of builds.
And he's Resolution.
Yeah.
He's
True.
practiced that hero
No,
unlike
that's
other players.
Triple C. They're both second place TI players.
That's true, but I mean, do you think SCC? Oh, it just, I don't know. They have way different play styles, right? SCC, like last game, was very involved in team fights. Resolution, with VJ, it feels like Yawar is more of, he's been ganking more surprisingly. I don't know. They're a little different now, but they're both really great players.
No.
That is crazy. They're both second. You're right.
Please ban Bloodseeker.
Dude,
Just prove Kyle wrong again. Remember that DK Blink talk we had?
No.
just see that's
Ban
one of
ending.
the one of the most annoying fallacies, and almost.
Oh, there's the Ursa.
There you
Okay,
go.
I got one thing
you
right.
You were right about something. I'll give you a gold star after this game. Everyone who
about
follows
me?
Dota, it's like if the team wins, then everything said about them with that outcome is correct. And if a team loses, then nothing they did could possibly
Do you still think
be
the
right.
Blink was incorrect?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a Blink Ags and a Bots Lina cancel out the lack of damage. I think it did its job, and it fit the game plan. I just think it could be slightly too... I think bad is too strong of a word, BSJ. This is TI. These are very talented players.
Okay, so you're saying it was suboptimal rather than bad, because it wasn't... Like, bad would be something that didn't give him mobility.
Bad would have been the Lina build we saw yesterday.
Okay, okay. Gotcha.
So
Bloodseeker's no longer in the equation.
is this Ursa to go against Dragon Knight right now, or no?
It's just, the reason you pick Ursa is because you automatically know you can at least pick it, you put it mid against the DK, or like wherever the DK goes, and you have absolute last pick, so you have that flexibility with this Ursa pick. And Silencer's not a support that is problematic for Ursa. Ursa suffers from heroes that have that. That's a good hero against Ursa.
I like Ursa a lot as well with Prophet. I think whenever you have, like, Ursa's a lane-dominating hero slayer. You need lane shove, and you need tower pressure.
Yeah.
And Prophet gives you, like, that +1, a little bit of disable thanks to the sprouts. Like, you get now the kill and the lane win, and then Prophet's there to kill the towers. That then buys space, because Ursa doesn't want to play on map. He wants to farm jungle, ancients, get that early blink, and just find kills the entire game.
Absolutely.
And to your point, yeah, he blinks on a silencer, that he's dead immediately.
Yeah. Supports that not only don't threaten you, but can't protect themselves are very important, like, considerations when you're picking Ursa, and that's exactly the kind of build that Silencer fits. Ursa almost always preemptively uses his overpower, so global, in terms of protecting himself, does not apply, does not actually accomplish anything.
Do you think Clock could be a thing here, just thanks to the support combo of Newbee?
It's a little bit desynergistic with the Ursa, but I think it's still okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I had the same points.
What? So this is looking like complete different game. Optic, super low cooldowns. Newbee is all around their longer cooldowns, right? Like, what drafts do you guys like playing? The long cooldowns or the short cooldowns? Usually. Because
It's all
Ursa
about
can
the
always run
ability
you.
of the team with short cooldowns to punish the long cooldowns. Like how often can you force fights? How often can you force objectives? What objectives are you forcing? That kind of stuff. And I think Earth Spirit is the hero that comes to mind for me. Something like that, a heavy disabler and team fighter. I guess Lion's not exactly a team fighter, but it's a nice synergy with the Ursa.
It's super good with Prophet Ursa. Yeah, to your point, like, Ursa just needs the time to get the Fury swipes off. Lion's flawless for that. And the burst damage when you have a Prophet as well. So if there's a Lion hiding somewhere, you open up with a Hex stun finger, like you have Prophet ulti on top, his teleport in, like Weaver as well, very fast at connecting. I look at Optic's lineup and I think that they're going to do exactly what you just said. Utilize their cooldowns and just stay on map at all times. Newbee's going to be playing catch-up the whole game, just desperately trying to force fights when all the stars align and their 3-minute, 2-minute cooldowns come up.
They need a 4-staff, like, kiting type hero build on Newbee, I believe. Like, you can't pick, like a lot of teams have picked Veno against Ursa, but I think that's terrible here. You have to pick something that doesn't mind Weaver. Okay, that kind of solves that problem, but not exactly.
Just doesn't get the last pick mid. And
yeah, you're not getting the good matchup.
A DK off lane?
Unless it's a side lane
definitely
TA.
A side lane DK, and that's the thing about this Ursa pick is you're just going to follow the DK. I would like Newbee to give one more bad matchup for Ursa, so Ursa can't just say, I'm going top, no matter what their matchups are. I think they need to be able to play the musical chairs again, because if you just give CCNC last pick against TA, you give Ursa against DK, I don't think you're liking how this game is going to turn out for you.
What, yeah, because you can't play side lane T either. Like, it's funny that now that's something we really need to discuss. Cause
we saw Arturi do it yesterday.
And they did win. That's one of those things. Was it good even though they won?
No.
No.
I think it would have worked if the Storm was something better against Lina, but I think the other setup would have just been better.
I have a source close to the team.
Bulba, okay.
It wasn't good.
But they won.
True.
So why'd they do it if they knew it wasn't good?
Phoenix, so.
The thing about that
is this source the second voice in your head or what?
Well, no, it's actually the fourth voice.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Second one is actually just yours.
Oh, okay.
Just,
hello.
I'm just living with you, like narrating my life.
That would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I would love to have Grand narrating.
Dude, how about a Grand voice pack?
Nah, I'm good. But thank you. Look, that's a PL. Okay, BSJ, you've been... You play this hero a ton, you like this hero, but currently you think it's a little bit weak. When is it good? Why do they ban it?
It's honestly good in a game like this where you have aggressive mid-game heroes and PL matches up naturally against the other cores on Optic, like Weaver and Ursa don't exactly threaten you. I like the Huskar last ban just because it's a good matchup against TA. Kind of like when you're going to pick when you're going to pick Lina, you ban TA, and when you're going to pick TA, you ban Huskar. You just don't want to give them that bad matchup, and nothing on the side of Newbee
10
deals with Huskar.
remaining.
So the reason why PL, like, you want to pick.
5
I was mentioning like a
seconds
4-step builder, like these kiting heroes. You don't want to build heroes that are single target, not in terms of damage, but in terms of a hero that Ursa just blinks on top of.
Dude.
And it hits.
Sorry to interrupt, I just realized Optic's got a last pick Veno here that's unbelievably good.
And CCNC plays that.
That is like the perfect pick.
It's
at
going
the
to be an
moment.
Ember.
I'm
not saying it's good,
bad.
but I'm saying CCNC, it's going to be an Ember.
I don't think they need the reach right now. They have an Ursa who's going to go blink. They have a Weaver. Like, they have already so much jump. I think you just need something to sort of stabilize your area to fight in and prevent blinks from Shaker DK. And this is such an
I think
strange
Veno's a
draft
good
from Newbee.
hero. I'm simply saying I'm predicting the team, not the rules of Dota.
Okay.
If that
I am
makes sense.
too. I think they.
So we're looking Veno or Ember. We're thinking it's one of those two more than likely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think both are fine. The Gyro, like, this is such an awkward draft from Newbee. This feels very reactive based on their last
5
game,
seconds
and
remaining.
I'm not sure I like it. I think there's a heavy overvaluing on DK. They pick at 4th here. Optic took it 10th in the previous game.
And here we go. It's Veno.
You may now select
And there you see it.
I agreed it was a
CCNC.
good pick. I just thought they would go the more like CCNC.
He did
route.
agree.
You made a good call. It was just suboptimal.
Yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
bad.
Yeah, my life story in a nutshell.
And look at this. So,
Second best.
so
Second best,
Veno versus TA.
just like in poker,
Yep.
gives you none of the pot.
So is Veno always good versus TA, or does he need level 3 or something like that? What's the lane?
It definitely matters who gets ahead. Like
Okay.
I think good TA can actually
crush.
would argue they're favored against Veno.
We have the profit factor.
It's to your point earlier, it's all about the first 2 waves.
Yeah.
And if TA falls behind, it's over. Like, if you're level 3 behind against a level 4 Veno and he hits you with a Gale,
10
you're
seconds
teleporting out or
remaining.
you're going to die, especially when there's a Prophet in the game. I love that it's Zai Prophet. Like, this is an excellent draft from Optic. They're going to be able to buy, like, all these 2,000 gold or so items. They're all going to ramp up through the mid game and crush through Newbee's towers.
Do you think it's going to be a 20-25 minute for Optic? Or?
I think that they'll have a critical lead after
At
the
their-
first Roche. I think
Okay.
the Optic has easy ways to take towers, to find kills around the map, to do Roche. Like, they don't really ever fall off in this sort of game, and I think Newbee's under a lot of pressure when you consider both of their supports are heavily item dependent and incredibly weak before ultimates,
Gotcha.
and all 3 of their cores need farm. Like, no one can really sacrifice himself because if the DK is just a creep in the top lane,
I think Gyro's
who
gonna be
takes
running around.
towers?
I think Gyro at that,
Yeah.
like you said, sacrificing themselves. Gyro's going to be the one that does
You
the
think-
thing.
you
He's
think
gonna
he
be
just goes
running
like
around at level-
drums?
You're going to see like a level 5 Gyro
Yeah.
ganking.
That's a good point. I think he has to. Like, Gyro, Mugi has to just take over the map and buy time for SCCC. The issue is the Prophet, the Veno, the Line, like, all of these heroes can hunt TA so effectively that if he dies a couple times mid, like, he needs to be #1 net worth from 5 minutes on, I think, for Newbee to win this game.
This game is all dependent on mid. You already said that basically.
Yeah.
I feel like if mid goes well for Optic, everything else will fall into place. And whenever you see this profit factor, it's so hard to predict the impact it's going to have on the game because it can be at any lane and any time.
He has 64 damage and a Blightstone at level 1.
66 damage because of the Fairy Fire. So he's cranking it out. and-
Wait, whoa. Radiant.
Whoa.
Radiant?
Oh, costly.
That is.
That's a really appropriate
Yes.
voice line.
That's really big because
Why?
Veno needs to push the wave. TA hits for like 20 more damage. If you let her get level 2 first, that's how Veno loses the lane because you end up getting double waved. You want to double wave the TA.
We expect to see a fort coming out from Newbee on the first wave, almost certainly. I would really like Optic to plant a support just for the first wave in the mid lane. I think it is so important.
Especially when you consider how weak Newbee supports are.
Yeah,
So-
they can't counterplay you very well.
Yeah, theoretically, the Shaker's going to be blocking bottom, so, and his presence middle will not cancel out the profit of the
30
line
seconds.
at all. Plus, you don't really mind being in a dual lane as Veno, whereas TA hates losing XP. And this is another thing. Whenever you play Veno, do not lean, give in to temptation. Skill your W.
Yeah.
Do not skill gale level 1.
Your
it is such an
hero-
insane spell.
With that, like, these are mid items. Your hero traditionally hits for 40 damage, or like
Yeah.
39 base damage. And your W makes it so you get an extra 36 damage.
Yeah, it's also health removal. Like,
Yeah.
it's so annoying. It goes through a refraction of TA.
The battle begins.
And yeah, it's just such an insane spell. I think the Veno build we'll see from CCNC will involve the maxing of Poison Sting by level 7. I strongly agree with that decision. And I think it is the way to play because then you hit a TA and he's just taking 300 damage from one attack.
And you get
he
1
feels
point
bad.
in wards, and you don't even care about feeding the ward as long as that ward gets an attack off and
Yep.
applies the level 4.
Yeah, it's the first pioneered by, I think, Wing's Shadow, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh,
way
really?
back when. Yeah, we got utterly
Lion sitting
obliterated by him.
I like this. I thought it'd be Prophet, but Lion works too. You just need the support to start mid.
Yep.
So how big of a deal is this wasted glyph, right? Like, we can kind of joke about, oh man, they accidentally used glyph, but is it that big of a deal middle?
It would be big if the support wasn't here. I
Okay.
like this decision because it allows them to push the lane, harass TA, and now the glyph won't be necessary.
Yeah.
I always hate missing range creep CS because my range creep missed in the mid lane. I swear. It just happened to CCNC. And problem is they're not getting denies, so SCC is getting levels here.
Yeah, and look at this. He's going to stun out. Actually blocks Peter, but SEC level 1, of course, just
They
showing
can
that
set
he's
up a dive
here.
If they get level 2 on Optic.
And look at this. Silencer is actually TBing here. Gets
Not
some
having
double
that
curse.
port in order to potentially dive is a pretty big deal.
Peter just has to run away. He has
Yeah, he did his
Flask.
job. That was all they needed, was to just secure those 2 waves because it gives, like, you lose the lane here if you let TA win the first 2 waves. If they trade, that is perfectly fine for Optic. Veno will pull ahead eventually. And top lane, you're going to have a very bullied Gyro, or sorry, a DK up top.
Is there possibly a killer? Kaka is here as well. It's a 3-on-2, and now they seize here. Will he get the block up or just a stun? Looks like he can block from the Roche Pit, but he's going to run up instead. And they're just going to chase Peter down. The slow will wear off. Now he can get the block. Did it? He has a tango, and he will just TP
Well
instead, like
played.
you said. And
Really good job from Peter.
Peter, it's on the biggest thing, right? You know where both supports are now, so the side lanes, they can kind of do what they want on Radiant's side.
Brutal side blades. That was 3 in a row from SCCC.
So these lanes, we see them again. Last game you favored Optic. What lanes are we liking here? Is it Optic again?
I think you lose mid as Veno until level 3 or 4, but the fact that he's even gives, I think he'll end up winning this lane by 3-4 minutes. Yeah. Top, you have a Prophet. He does not lose lanes. And bottom, you have an Ursa up against the Gyro Silencer. So I think that's your tough one, but it's so easy to rotate the Prophet down here after he secures top for his Weaver.
Kyle, if a hero doesn't lose a lane, why is he not picked more? A la Nature's Prophet.
I don't know. I think it's one of the strongest heroes in Dota still.
Okay. It's just one of those, like, other people aren't playing it, so they don't get no. Yep, we are going to see middle. Wants to be the gank on SCC. Right click's coming. And we'll get it. Looked like CCNC was actually giving it to Peter.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
it looked like he was. Maybe he... I mean, 51 base damage is rough, but yeah.
That's the important part about Veno against TA is you always have threat. And that's why I didn't mind the Ember pick either. I was just mentioning a hero that TA has to be scared of these Lion Prophet heroes at any point, because if you get Galed, Lion or Prophet has so much kill threat on you, you at least have to TP out, which is insane as a TA who just traditional lane dominator that just farms for the first 15 minutes of the game.
I see why you like this hero. Look at, he's just 2v1ing him right now.
And look at top. He's already given Weaver such a massive lead that he's got 10 denies to the DK's 7 CS.
So
that Aquila is a huge deal on
it's
these.
an Aquila advantage.
Yeah, 19 damage.
If you play the Prophet like this, you give a side laner literally an Aquila advantage, because that item is most cost efficient in Dota 2, and then you just swap side lanes.
Oh, and look at this.
Again, SCC just like he has 2 salves, but he's taking so much damage.
Are we going back? Are we going back a meta now? We've got the 2-on-2 middle. I do miss the kill bottom, but it's just 33 running him down. Is this? Could we see more of this, or is it only because it's a Veno TA matchup with the Mist Glyph that we're seeing a 2-on-2 middle?
I think it's matchup.
Okay.
And also, where would Lion go to have more impact? Top, he doesn't change the lane. Pycat's owning it. And bottom, it's
Ursa's not
irrelevant.
threatened by the supports. That's really important that is the case.
Look at the CCNC gets blocked in, but Peter just standing there and fighting, helping his teammate. Can they do anything, or will CCNC go down? Does he have a Fairy Fire? Does not. Will just die there. They get a lot of damage on SCC, but a good kill. Dire needed that one.
Really good side blading from SCCC as well.
That's one of those, if you don't get that kill or you die right there, that could just be, you're in the jungle for the rest of the game.
Yep.
But he brings it back. It is a 1,000 gold lead for Optic currently, and like you said, a big part of that is the Nature's Prophet, who's been top, who's been bottom. Not middle yet.
TA's going to end up jungling either way.
No.
Yep. I think Shaker, does he have any stacks up? I think even just medium or hard camp stacks would be very helpful for your TA.
I just see Ancients. It looks like only Ancient
Ancients
stacks.
With the triple on the bottom shrine, anything there?
There's both Ancients have been stacked once.
And that's it? Okay.
That's all right,
coming
but
out.
your problem is...
Oh, is Pyke gonna steal it? He does not. It's 2 already for Newbee, but the bugs are gonna fly on Kaka. Will this Earthshaker get chased down? Will he pop? Do you want him to solo pop this shrine? I don't think you do, and he will not. Smart play. Will he mess up Hill?
I like that choice. He buys items.
Look at Ursa.
So he loses no gold.
Ursa's just running in. This is a
He ain't
shrine here,
scared
but
of anything.
Fade. Look at this. He can square up. Will he get this kill? One more attack will do it. No, he needs 2, and now he's gonna get
He's
stunned.
scared.
He might just die instead. He's not scared, but he's definitely dead. Will he somehow get Faith? That would be nuts. Oh my goodness, he does. And he's not even dead yet. Is he gonna get the chicken? No, he's not. He pops the health potion actually, which helps him survive another hit, but he dies. And
Mid lane.
Kaka's, it's crazy. He actually respawned. His Fisher was still on cooldown.
yeah, and look at this. SCC almost dying again, so Faith has to TP and help. But the gold lead is slowly going down. Peter getting run down. He's good.
It's the XP advantage that I'm most concerned about for Newbee, because this whole time you have a Weaver versus DK, and he's doubling up that matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, breaks the salve on CCNC with the Earthshaker Fissure.
Like you said, yeah, Weaver level 6, DK level 4. That's a rough one.
Yeah, that's the point about Weaver, and it synergizes really well with Prophet, as Kyle mentioned. Weaver's the perfect hero to give a slight advantage to and just leave him alone for the rest of the time.
Bottom lane, looks like they're trying to go on Mugi. No stuns is the name of the game, though. A nice
But they're still
TP out.
forced to TP,
And
which is just terrible.
The other cool thing is that when you synerg the Veno wards plus Weaver bugs has such great synergy because they aren't affected by flak. And all these Newbee heroes, like they require, the 3 cores are all just auto attackers. That's how they deal damage. And you can't really clear these without wasting the hits. And it feels so bad.
Uh-oh, Faith. He doesn't want to use Earthshock quite yet until the curse wears off. You see him waiting. Now he can, and that's going to be a slow. This should be a kill here. It will be.
Yeah.
Guaranteed middle. Nothing happening. But yeah, oh man, that's so scary right now. If this Ursa, I mean the early phase, but he can just run down anyone in this game.
And I hope he goes for the blink.
Oh, they're waiting. Look at this. SCC could be in a little bit of trouble here. Still doesn't know Peter is in Viz. Look at this. They're going to slow. Peter isn't going to commit here. Why not?
I don't know.
Just because? Doesn't want to show on map, I guess.
They could be, is Prophet close to 6?
They had
Maybe
not
were waiting
seen
for it.
Gyro
think so.
Earthshaker up until that point. Like,
He's
this
still
ward
4.
reveals them now, but before that, they had not seen them. So I think that was the reasoning behind.
They should have seen him
Pulling
on
back.
that Sentry trap combo on that rune. But
We
they-
mentioned this in the
Oh,
draft,
yeah.
though. This is a roaming gyro, basically. I
don't think they did see him,
They're
though.
ganking with the gyro a little bit.
And look at this. DK might go down here. Nice stun up on Weaver. That is the main damage dealer, but he's going to move forward. Gemini attack will be the next one. Breathe Fire does hit, so they do reduce damage, but it will still
And
be enough.
that's the profit factor with the Lion. Like, it's so good. All of a sudden, there's 3 heroes in your face, and you only saw the Weaver. And this gives you a time right away.
Faith should have died there, but he won't go down quite yet. 33 still trying to run. It's now a 3-on-1 fight, and 33, he has been in this pickle before. It's a 4-on-1 fight. SCC feels like joining. He goes for the side blade kill. He
No
doesn't
way.
get it. Oh, but the trap.
No way. He might live here.
He might live. Oh my goodness. Zai helping him out.
Oh, he got
No,
the
he
rolls
gets
off.
the
Denied.
curse.
Can't deny curse.
No, you cannot. He
Tough.
does go down, but now middle, KP. He is struggling. The stun's going to come out. I'm not sure they get this kill, but look at it. You
What
just
lane
send him
does
back
he
to
go
base.
to? He can't occupy Weaver's lane. He can't occupy his Venos. It's an Ursa in the other lane.
Pardon me for missing that kill. It is Kaka and Mugi, so bottom lane. Going decently here for Newbee, but look at
the
this.
body
Zai,
blocks.
look at Zai.
No way.
No way.
Body blocks.
No way.
Good try,
He
but
has TP up when he's alive.
is he going to go
doesn't have
for
any
it?
Iron charges, so that's not happening.
He's
he's going
happening.
for it.
TB by
Threatened
Mugi.
it, but he's not going to complete it.
I mean, that still works for Radiant, right? Because now Mugi has to run back to some lane, but
This is
Look
the
how
problem.
Weaver's
Like,
allowed to play.
he can't do the Ancients that effectively because look at mid. There's just a Veno now who's going to start spamming wards and pressuring his tower.
Yep.
Top and mid are going to be constantly pressured by Optic. These heroes are not going to leave their lanes.
all right, I need you guys to tell me then, because you're making it sound
Top.
pretty dire. What does Dire need to do to keep this game in their
They need
favor?
to
What can they
continuously
do?
kill this Veno and Weaver.
Will be a
I don't
stun
think
out
they
on
killed
Zai?
Weaver yet, so I don't think this is the right lane to deal with.
Yeah, and look at this. Zai will get stunned over here, and now he's going to try to sprout himself a rocket. Will get the kill. Now Pycat, he's taking a lot of damage, but Face should die to one more attack. He will go for it. Range up tanks up a little bit for Pycat, but he might die. He has ulti. He will pop it. He goes back in Viz. He's going to get this kill on Mugi. No, doesn't hit Skuchi. Runs away.
Look at. There's 3 heroes there. They just
Yeah.
had a DK cancel the TP. In the meantime, mid and bottom still heavily pressured
And
by
he's
Optic
going home
heroes.
with the Dominator on Ursa. I love it.
Why do you love it?
Because they're pressuring lanes.
Okay.
That's all they're doing.
Simple.
Newbee is short on resources to deal with these with all this pressure in separate lanes. So Ursa, a hero that doesn't pressure lanes with any other item, is buying the item that allows his lane to also be pressured.
PPD secures Pycat. It's only a 1K lead, but if you just look at the map and you just see the heroes, right? Every hero is pretty much on Dire's side of the map right now.
Yep. And they just don't have the wave clear to deal with this.
Newbee has Gyro, Silencer, Earthshaker. All these heroes want to group up and fight you, and they're not going to allow them to do that.
Yep. Oh, middle lane, they're walking behind the tower right now. PPD, they're keeping the pressure. But KP, he's going to know it's daytime, my friend. They're going to pop the trap. PPD, he's going to die here. Does he stun KP? Can't. Gets the kill. It still seems kind of like an odd death.
I don't like that move. I feel like Optic's winning, don't get me wrong, but you need to keep, you're winning because it's so much easier for you to make moves and get advantage, but you can't throw that away.
But now look, middle lane.
Yeah, because Newbee's going to be allowed to group up and do exactly what they're doing now because of that death.
You just need to connect with everyone, right? Like have the Weaver push top, connect mid, profit TP. Like bring 4 to make these moves.
Now on the backside, look at this.
And he had the tome, so he's level 6 now.
PPD is about to die if he walks up that hill, but the Veno ward by CCNC scouts him out.
Bottom lane getting pushed by Ursa.
Yep. And that's...
So while this is going on, Prophet's pushing top, Ursa's pushing bottom.
He has a Maelstrom. It's 10 minutes into the game.
He has a Maelstrom, Aquila 1. That's not even naked.
Kaka TP'd bottom. He might be in some trouble.
Because is this the max Earthshock build? That is very low. I mean, it's 5 seconds. That ability, I'm so glad people are finally maxing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just nice
way better.
when you plan to pressure waves because it's
really?
the fastest thing to clear waves.
I think it's better almost every lane. You look at the damage.
It doesn't
damage
scale.
and
Look how it scales. It doesn't scale in mana cost anymore.
Yeah, so it's 10% slow and 60 damage.
It's also because they changed the W last patch that gives you that 1 extra charge. It's just a 1-point wonder now, so why not max your Q?
Yeah.
The thing about it is you want your overpower timing to synergize with your blink. So if he was going first item blink, that's usually when you leave it in 2 points on your Q. But if you're not going first item blink, then you do exactly what he's doing here.
Well, PPD tries to rest out KP, but I believe Zai TP top already, so can't really pressure them. They're doing a good job of getting creeps off their tower. They're not losing tower. They've only lost the tier 1 top on Newbee. Though bottom is... It's not looking healthy.
The issue is they have no one that can occupy the top lane. Yeah. So Optic's just taking those 4 camps and top wave and just denying them completely from Newbee. And eventually that tier 2 top is going to die.
Have you seen Pycat farming?
Radiant advantage, especially with an Ursa. When you take out that tower in mid tier 1, Roche is now free the moment Newbee shows multiple heroes in the bottom area of the map.
Okay, so we saw Newbee got some decent ganks. They just got to keep that up. Just keep pressuring and try to push towers with DK ulti. Is that like the plan?
It's tough. There isn't really much of a plan. It's just respond to Optic's moves. You have no heroes that can actually create chaos on the map. Like we were talking about Gyro, but that involves a lane being pushed. You're not going to do that middle or bottom, and top is already pretty much a dead lane. You're just trying to plant someone at the tier 2 to soak up free gold and XP, but otherwise you can't really play there anymore.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite thing about Dota. I just love how everything went from go, ready. You just say one letter. You just see G, question mark, and then Y. I don't know why that makes me laugh. It's just G, Y. Game's on pause.
Bottom?
It's going to be bottom. We see them trying to take these stacks. Currently 33. My goodness, this dude is ready to go. They do kill the trap, so it won't be a slow. Kaka's ready. KP's actually going to find Zai over here. Is it the other way around? I'm not sure. KP taking a lot of damage to CCNC. Will this ult hit him? He does get stunned. Perfect stun by the Earthshaker. Slow CCNC down. Moogie gets the kill now. Zai's going to be in quite the pickle. He's going to go down as well. Peter misses his stun, and that's a nice fight, obviously. And look at this. That Helmet of Dominator creep, but nice KP, finger. See ya. Will they even get it?
This is fine from Optic, but they just make this play and have Weaver connect. If you're going to force this engagement around the Ancients, bring 5. You're so much stronger, but if they want to put the Weaver up top, then I think that you want to just force Newbee here and then back away. Instead, they end up losing 3. That's a lot of intelligence going the way of the Silencer, and
those 6
and now the Weaver's here after teleporting.
Hitting top. Honestly.
You think we should just after they missed a team fight?
Engagement, yeah, for sure.
But he should have been there beforehand, and then if you're not there, make the other play.
Just push the wave and connect. You can just walk over.
And now look at this Silencer. Look at it. This is what we're talking about with the Weaver, though. He's 2 sentry wards. He's almost level 6 though, and Global Silence. I mean, it is especially early game, right? One of the best ultimates.
Yeah, and it's scary now because taking a fight if you're Optic got a lot harder. You could have taken those 2 towers before the silence is even a threat. And instead now you're going to be forced to work for those objectives, although it looks like mid might just go down to the pressure. And this is what happens when the Weaver links up. Like, Newbee gets the hell out of dodge because you cannot contest the amount of stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
let alone the bugs still held in reserve.
That opens up Roche threat, as
Yep.
you mentioned. And so it looks like Ursa, after he takes this tier 1 from constantly pressuring with the Helm Dom, is going to look to rotate on that. Because him being off map makes it so that...
Whoa, we have an Earthshaker ulti coming on the backside. It'll...
Link on SCC.
No one likes Peter, I guess. Earthshaker just straight up ultis him.
Yeah, you're just trying to work on that blink.
TP comes out from the gyro. The rocket will go off.
And we're looking. They're trying to run away, but look at this hasted Earthshaker. He hits the first stun. He has another one. Nope, runs out of mana. It won't matter. And dude, man, Kaka is making... He's level 10 at 14 minutes, and he is making so much space.
Newbee's on the counterplay game, and they're doing really well.
Yeah.
Like, the Optic's just throwing away a few too many heroes, and this tower bottom, I feel, should already be dead. It's so close. If they made a couple less misplays on the side of Optic, it would be. And Ursa, once that tower is gone, he has no reason to be bottom anymore.
Yep. And this Earthshaker feels so far ahead. It's not just blink ulti is gonna be good. He's gonna just blink perma-stunt. Like he just killed the tomato, right? And so he gets 200 gold. He's gonna have a blink at about 16 minutes here, it looks like.
The strength event, however, is they need to play around like the fight box, as they'll call it. Optic needs to ensure that they guard themselves with either vision from treants or wards to cancel the blink daggers.
And look at this, Ursa's gonna go in. Global Signs will go, Earthshaker will get out, but the stun is gonna block him into the trees. SCC wants to get this kill. He's already used his ultimate. This is a perfect ulti though. Kaka will go down. Mugi slowing down everyone. PBD will go in on backside.
Cancels blink through refraction.
Now let's see it. Will SCC. He's gonna get trapped up. They have vision. It will be killed. Pycat as well gets a kill, and that's a fight that they commit 5 heroes to finally for Optic.
There's still 2 bounty runes top though, so Optic chose to opt out to get not getting those. Like they had heroes top, but they immediately responded bottom.
I'm scared for Newbee though. They're itemizing for 3 fast blinks against a Venomancer. If Optic play this right and just position around the ward walls, there's no real way for Newbee to puncture their defenses. And that's why I love the Veno pick here, because whenever you're playing against these high, the Blink Dagger required initiation, if there's nothing that can actually just jump you without that tool, you're invulnerable when positioned ideally.
Heroes like Clinks and Slark, these like invis heroes that wrap around, are really good against Veno. Heroes that like walk in directly with blinks, as you mentioned, those are the heroes that are hard countered by him, and that's pretty much the entirety of Newbee.
So we have the, I mean, it's pretty much a naked blink, doesn't even get treads on this DK. They have the initiation, the Earthshaker, he's gotten 100. I mean, it feels like the next time his ulti's up, there could definitely be a gigantic fight, but look at this, they're just gonna jump onto CC&C. KP is gonna be there. Will they kill CC&C? He gets his ulti, and look at it in the backline. They're already melting so quickly to the Mjolnir of Pycat, Maelstrom, pardon me. And now Zai, he's gonna pop that dust. They're gonna fight uphill. KP's gonna go down, SCC's gonna go down. Everyone is gonna go down. Well, not Faith.
He didn't even die on CC&C.
Yeah, he's still living. Well, Faith trying to kill a super.
If he gets his ult off, Newbee's lost the fight.
Just guaranteed.
That's the issue with their draft, where all of their damage, even their support usefulness, is item dependent.
Yeah.
All Optic has to do is get their spells off. They're going to win the fight because they have so much raw magical damage.
Hello?
Yeah, somebody. There you go.
Dude, Kaka missed his blink. He would have actually stolen that, but I think he blinked right before, and now they know he's there. Faith is here too, and one of these two is dying, I have a feeling. And I want to say it more than likely is Faith. He will get saved.
Block.
What a Fisher
Really
block.
nice.
That's good. That's
What a
just
homie.
support play. Yeah, that's homie.
Ursa has Blink Dagger gold now.
I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, whatever,
Yeah.
you're dead. See ya.
You
I'm
didn't
out.
need to
They catch him with the
clarify
bug
that. We know.
They do. Look at this, and he's gonna get hit. He's gonna get earned. He's just dead. Well, he did end up dying. Homie play. It doesn't get him killed. I think
Sick play by
sticking
Pycat.
around.
One thing I've noticed about pub players is they always give up too early. Whenever a hero runs, they're like, oh, I can't see him anymore. He's out.
don't
he
think
probably TP. They just assume he got away.
You don't give up that early, BSJ. What?
Oh man, that's ouch.
I know what you're saying though. It's a good point, right? Like, oh, he blocked, that guy TP'd out, they're gone. I mean, people always hide in those
People just
trees.
like back to farm, and
Yeah.
and you see these pro matches, you see them throw out every single scouting ability. You saw Prophet like sprout to see if Silencer was TPing. You saw Weaver throw bugs into the trees. Like, if there's a 10% chance this guy's here, it's going to be worth us checking.
He could be in trouble. They have the tier 1 though. This is scary, and look at that. He does it before that. He's still taking a ton of damage. Zai will go down. This should be a tier 1.
And both teams being really good about ensuring they spend their gold before dying, though. Happy to see that.
Oh, middle though. Are they going to initiate? No, he'll just slow him. 14%. And the tower will end up going down here. SCC, let's see if he last hits it. He does. Pretty easy on a TA. 33. Whoa, I missed that. Pardon me. Faith just gets fingered right on down. And, well, I bet that's the best feeling, is a 5-player killing the other 5-player, like, guess what? I'm better than you.
It just secures the tower. The silencer's a key part of their ability to take fights on Newbee.
Deso now on TA, so they have, I mean, he can move around the map, right? If you get like a global silence, a stun from Earthshake, they can definitely win a fight if they kill that Venom first, you think?
Yeah, but the downside is...
Oh my, he is farmed.
The perfect, it's pure survivability to get my spells off and spam wards is what CCNC is saying.
Nuts.
And in addition, if you don't take him out, like we've seen lots of heroes this way, Huskar, Alchemist, we talk about it all the time. You need to target them, but if you don't finish them, they click one button and you've lost the fight. In Venom's case, it's very simple. He hits his ult.
Yeah, but now he has the evasion versus the TA. Not only that, he can make him just not attack if he really
all three
wants.
heroes are incredibly susceptible to being disarmed, especially like they're all ranged when DK's in his form.
Most importantly, the TA though, who for a long time won't have BKB, and he has to pop BKB just because of a halberd. That there's so many reasons he needs a BKB that the effectiveness of BKB, it's needed, but it doesn't feel like it'll have that much of a change on his ability to play the game.
It's just Venomancer, man. The Poison Sting slow goes through BKB.
He denied the bounty rune with the Centaur. He's going for a second deny.
Oh my God.
Oh, he blinks for it. They know there's smoke because of that. That's such a cool play by 33. Like, we've seen a lot of teams making smokes around bounty runes, so Optic just playing together all in the bottom half, not being too greedy to go for top, but 33 on the other hand just denies one bounty rune with his Centaur creep.
Then he does give 200 gold to the position
But he
1
forces
carry.
them to show there's like 4 heroes
He denied the
there.
bounty rune. It's definitely value.
I'm just saying he still gave up a bounty rune and gave
Are you
200
saying
gold
it's
to the
not worth
carry.
it?
No,
He
I'm saying
gave
it's
up-
worth it.
He didn't give up the bounty
He
rune.
denied the bounty rune.
They were taking the bounty rune no matter what.
Well, you guys are acting flustered. I'm not, which usually puts me in the correct spot. So I'm fine. Pycat takes a tier 2.
I'm overacting to make a point here, Grant.
Sure.
He denied the bounty rune with a
No, he did. That's sick. And I wish I saw. Pardon me for not.
Yeah.
Dude, it's little plays, right? It's just something like that. I mean, I think most people know 33 is that player. I mean, it was his first time last year on Hellraisers, and people are like, this guy's good, even though they're losing. This year, it's like, well, this guy's the best guy on their team, right? I think a lot of people think.
He's the star of the team, at least. It's hard to say the best.
Which is
because everyone
crazy.
offers a different thing to the team.
And it's
Guys, Optic is a team's team. They don't have an MVP. It's just it's just that no one gives CCNC any love.
Yep.
And
more people have started, though. But definitely not as much as other mids, yes.
true, but I think if there was a team coming into this event that was like a team, like there is no standout player, so to speak, and they take turns at least being entrusted with the game, it's Optic. I would agree 3-3 is probably the best player, but let's be real. Everybody performs and plays their part.
You know what you're getting out of every single player on this team, and they're quite good at doing what they're expected.
Yep.
And we see Newbee, they have to smoke for every single movement. Even the DK has a blink, which this game I do not like because of the Veto wards, and you also have 2 other blink heroes.
Yes.
For
This game, I don't like it.
You have 3 blinks, and none of them can puncture the wall.
Yeah, as long as they have Veto wards set up on any given location, it's almost impossible for Optic to have a bad fight.
They're going to go uphill. Oh, they're going to find SCC. Will get the blink away with Refraction up. Over here, though, Kaka will just...
But we see Weaver
looks
wrapping
like
around.
Oh, and look at this. Yeah, Kaka, he should go down here. It's going to be Ursa just chasing him down. He's going to ulti to try to save himself. Is that going to be a blink away? It sure will, but guess what? They know one of the big ultis is down now.
That's a huge spell. I think if you're Optic, Aegis has faded, but...
Whoa. He doesn't have a TP, by the way, and this is what you talked about. Do they quit chasing? And Ursa does. No vision, of course.
At that point, you have no idea where he is, and the difference between the last one and this one is the other one was on their side, the Newbee side of the map, so when you're chasing, you're effectively applying pressure. In this case, you're just like relieving pressure for the rest of Newbee.
You got to be always super careful now if you're Newbee 2, because if Optic's allowed to like set up in your base, you're going to lose at tier 3.
Ursa?
So they got to be very aware of where their lanes are.
He has the Netter troll here. Will it come and help him? Kaka doesn't have his ulti, but he stuns out. He knew the troll was there, so he actually keeps him out. They're going to global. And a nice play there by the
Thinks
Earthshaker.
he's safe because of the Echo Slam being on cooldown, but really well chain stunned by Newbee.
And just positioning, right? Like, why would Mugi be there? It's just a good play. We're going to see Highcat. Well, nothing. Nothing at all. I love treads on Weaver.
Another difference between pros and the pub players that you see is that pros are very patient. Like a lot of Earthshakers would have either like walked back to base or TP'd away. Instead, they lingered for so long waiting for an opportunity. They saw Optic Heroes mid, they knew the Ursa was alone, and they capitalized on that patience. And that kill is a very important kill. But
I like what Optic does as well, where they're all items. Can we scroll through their items real quick while
I would
we're
love
paused?
to.
So they,
Which one? All of them?
All of them. So you have CCNC, Veil, Aquila, Halberd, BKB. Very defensive survival
Dangler.
base. Look at that. A pipe medallion urn on your Prophet.
Help
Weaver,
Dangler.
with the Lincolns and the health talent. It was level 15, 12 strength.
Yep.
And then Ursa, HOD Blink,
Almost
BKB, Lion.
He'll get a blink if they win 2 fights, 3 fights, 5 fights. I don't know.
Guarantee his first 500 gold is going to a bracer.
Yeah,
You think?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't think Peter
He's buying
goes
the
to that.
drums.
It's a bracer or a cloak.
He needs a bongo. There's no way he's going to have a gold for Blink.
On the other side,
I
Faith.
said a cloak. Like
Cloak?
A
towards the
bracer.
Glimmer Cape.
No, bracer.
You think bracer?
Yeah.
Well, he looks, and then on the other side,
Cloak.
Silencer. He's an earn.
Cloak isn't cost efficient against magic damage, so you have about 1100 HP, and most of the damage that's going to kill him is physical.
Till 1100 HP, huh?
Correct.
Well, you see this. TA is getting close to a BKB now. Is doing a decent amount of damage, but 33 is here. Mugi actually gets a kill. Looks like middle lane. They want to look for more, and they are going to find Zai. This should be a kill. Mugi's just going to cast his ultimate, and it's a 5-on-1. Zai just gets handled. They find one more. It's CC&C. The trap will pop, but here come the bugs, and Pycat. Okay,
Dude,
he's going to let him know.
Cock is on point, though. Like, he was picking the crap out of that trap.
Yeah.
If that goes off, I'm pretty sure they find the kill on CC&C, but looks like SCCC was about a half second late on the activation.
And it just feels like, I don't know, the Cog on this Earthshaker have kept them in this game very well.
100%.
I think him and Mugi's movement together, you talked about it, right? Like Mugi moving around early game. Well, now he's just chilling up here, but I don't know, Mugi and Kog have just moved around and secured kills for their team.
Yeah, and CC&C's got to be careful because he's not saving enough mana to get a full round of his spells off as he spams words to farm.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be funneling out more mana potions.
He's trying to like rush that BKB, so he's going to go back to base right after getting it. I think that was the idea. I agree that you need to be on the map more, but he's just rushing his BKB in order to get to this rush.
Yeah.
And it's going to start spawning in the next 10 seconds.
Another thing about Veno I love, 90 gold per minute talent at level 10, and that's part of the reason his net worth is so high. He's keeping up with the TA.
I mean, he's above by 1,000. I was looking at gold trend and like, TA's one of those heroes that wants to be above people. And, yeah.
200 cast range on a halberd is nuts. It's
Yeah,
another
that
thing.
item is
Like,
very low
Let's
cast
look
range.
at that.
yeah, that is one of the highest range talents, and you get it at a much earlier position than most other heroes would.
Yeah, it even helps with the radius of the ultimate as well.
Really?
No, I was testing you.
I thought so.
Nice. I got to return the favor, dude, because you've been testing me all day.
Okay, look at
You're
it.
learning.
We got 2 BKBs now, though. We got one on TA and one on Ursa. Who does that benefit more? Which team? Is it just this Ursa being on the run at you, or the TA being unhindered?
BKB,
Oh my
Ursa
gosh,
in
look
this
at the
game.
positioning.
Oh my goodness, he hits. His is the BKB. They both pop up right away. KP taking so much damage. I believe one more hit should do it. Looks like he's going to try to chase him down. We are going to see more. Faith gets trapped, and they just immediately use the BKB
And
by 33.
No BKB on Gyro, too. I think you can go high ground now. If you're Optic, you just got to wait until
trees.
your Venomancer's in the vicinity. Great fight, though.
Where's he going?
Man,
The BKB on Ursa is so important because you saw there, this is
Yeah.
a 3-position Ursa.
You can't
that-
feel him
Yeah,
anymore.
they are literally all running away. Not metaphorically, literally 5 heroes
And-
are forced to run away from a 3-position hero that's BKB walking at you. It's not about the fact that it's increasing Ursa's ability to do things. It enables all of Optic. Like, you can't kill anyone on Optic. All these squishy heroes, all these mobile heroes, these ranged heroes, Ursa's just running in your face, and all these heroes can do whatever they want in the middle of fights.
Kyle,
I have nothing to add.
All
That
right.
was beautiful.
thank you. DSJ. And Nullifier next on Weaver, do you like that? What's that for?
Just
Anyone
The
specific?
BKBs. The
BKBs.
blanks.
Okay, well, up here we are going to have an ulti pop. Ursa gets his
BKB for
ulti
5.
off, though. And now I think he kind of wants to go back in. It will be a global silence over on the right side. You have KP getting right-clicked down by Pycat. We have SCC actually stuck uphill because of his blink. And now the
gosh,
bugs are
what a
getting up there and
stun.
help him. And what a double stun, like you said, by PBD. KP goes down. They blink uphill. SCC goes down. There's a very good chance we might just see a full 2 sets of racks
Who
or
needs
3
Roche? Just
taken.
kill everybody.
Yeah, it's the BKBs from Optic. Like, they literally just farmed, controlled the map, waited for this timing, and all of a sudden, they pop BKB. Newbee's got nothing.
Yeah, and look at this. We have a buyback from
Yeah,
a
and look-
TA. Doesn't feel good. Gyro.
Watch the way they position around these wards now. You can't get into Blink
Yep.
if you're Newbee.
Unless
As long
you're
as-
this guy.
Yeah, exactly. But if you
fraction,
zone the Earthshaker, though.
No, that's the biggest one. You're worried about this guy. He's the game changer
Dude,
right now.
and that is so cool. Cock is going for an Ags. That's actually so insane. It obviously gives the ability to, bunny hop 900 units using your
I would
W.
say pogo stick hop, something
Pogo
like that.
stick,
Yeah.
I like it. And it allows you to initiate without the blink, which is,
Yeah.
as we've said over and over, something he needs.
He's trying to contest this Roche, but they don't have
No
global,
way.
and it's going to be down by the time they even get there.
You see these 2 wards,
Yep.
3 wards, like I've noticed that a lot of Venos actually have started going for the other level 25, but isn't 3 times Plague Ward too good?
It's too good. If it were slow, like plus damage, maybe, but I feel like, as you said, like it's 200 cast range. Like Aether Lens, I think is 220.
There's about to possibly be a gigantic game-winning play. Optic can win it. They can't get the Earthshaker though. They're going to jump in on the other side. 33 instantly gets him. Pocket does go down. And see you later. CC&C is looking for more. Damn, you see that? Pycat hits Peter. We're going to have a BKB actually pop over here by SCC, pardon me. Now he's just going to try to run back. Bugs are flying in. They get the trap on him. 33 on the backside. He's going to go for KP. So much damage, even through all that armor. And yep, Faith, will he get out? No, he gets handled by Pycat. That's a godlike SCC sitting invis. Do they have anything? Stunned by Peter. Still doesn't show him. They're just going to spam out abilities. They are not scared to spam. Oh, there we go. Sentry. Zai actually bought it. He bought it over there, and that's
Beautiful.
a good game.
Man, so good from Optic there. That was a pre-click Hex on a blinked-in Earthshaker. That's why they're tipping Peter, because he found him, I think, on, I guess, like the ward vision as he was coming up. So the ward didn't cancel the blink, but he gets the pre-click off. As soon as Kaka dies without casting a spell, that's the end of the fight. I think he was the only bright spot keeping Newbee in the game.
He owned. But
Well drafted, well executed.
We liked it from the start. We liked the way they played it. The idea of the draft is this Prophet hero from the get-go. On top of Weaver says, we're going to win the Weaver lane. He's going to pressure his lane, and then we're going to pressure all of your lanes. And it shows in every hero they pick, as well as the items. Ursa, most notably, the one that had to adjust. Veno just naturally pressures, so it's not like he has to build anything unique. He's just going to do that anyway. Ursa going this Helm of the Dominator, but I point out these little items simply because Optic looks to be on the same page about everything. There are little slip-ups here and there. They weren't perfectly clean about it, but overall the execution or like the idea of what they're supposed to be doing was on point.
Their flaw was just, I think, not fully committing to a couple of initial dives middle. If they had played that a bit cleaner, I think that game is faster, but overall, they knew the timings they needed to win the game, and I especially enjoyed it because that's the style of Dota I think is best, and I'd like to see.
It's very EGS too.
Cheap items. You know, you have a Veil, HOD, and a Maelstrom timing. All of these items they give you a bunch of different utilities where you'll scale faster, but they give you some tank ability, more spells to spam, faster farming, etc. They hit the BKB timings, they play around Roche very well, and they just win the game. As soon as they have the 3 BKBs on all 3 cores, it's game over, and Zai's just going full support, Urn, Solar, Pipe, and then Peter, of course, Tranquil Boots, Windlace, and Wards.
Yep. So do you guys think, was this just a 10th pick Venomancer that won the game?
I think it's the entire draft was just really good by Optic,
I can't believe they, I mean, thing is they banned Huskar last, which I feel like maybe you have to take out.
Yeah.
But that was just the freest Veno. Like, I guarantee if we could go to an interview, they would think that in that draft they come out 90-10 ahead.
Yeah, they were feeling really good about the draft. We are favoring them, and it shows, like, when you're watching these teams that Pycat, he went 19-1 and like 27 in the last 2 games.
Pretty good.
And they just gave him good matchups on Newbee, it felt like, despite them picking Pycat's hero early on in the draft. It's like they're just feeling good. They had this last pick, Venomancer, and then Pycat's like, I got a good game for me too. Like, if you have a hero that's picked in the first 3 in the core role and they're just given a good game, look at the comparison of this Weaver first round to a DK first round.
Yeah.
That's why we were mentioning DK as like a last round hero, because DK is not a hero, in my opinion, that you can pick this patch first round and not just get absolutely obliterated as you saw in this game.
Yep. Let's go into the highlights if we can. To your point, playing early or late last year, Pycat, if he has 2 deaths or less, you're going to lose. If you can make him die more than that, you're going to be fine. And it's just like the way he plays. And if Pycat has a good game, a free game, it's very difficult to beat Optic because they're able to play the map so well.
They play around, like, they enable him very well. Like, just the way that you can tell this team's been together since basically the end of last TI. They've been together all year, with the exception of 33 joining about midway. But here you're seeing just that Venomancer. They didn't quite burst him down in time. He got his ultimate off. All of Newbee's just forced to be on the back foot. They're losing like half or more of their health to the Venomancer ult. And this is just a net worth advantage for Optic, also showing they're using global defensively. And that's not how you can afford to use it. They had to protect the TA who got trapped on the high ground. They already had a ward there. And the Ursa just blinks on top of them.
This just felt like Optic got ahead and just see you later. It just snowballed off, right? They lost like 2 fights in that early game. They were just bad fights, they took, as you said, but there was no objectives taken. It felt like the TA was always behind, and T's one of those heroes. If you're not far ahead,
Mm-hmm.
you're not ahead at all, even if you're ahead a little.
It's
If that made any English sense.
It feels like a hero you can't
never do, so.
pick if these mid matchups. Like I think Veno or Ember probably ends up winning the game. Veno's certainly easier, but it just felt like such an easy counter pick.
Yeah.
And TA, it looks, if there's a Lina against you mid, right? TA looks like a broken hero concept, but then you don't have that free matchup, and all of a sudden it's just like, what? Wait, is this hero even good?
Yep. And look at the Zai. He's already running there. He's like, see you at the shop, boys.
Yep.
BRB, boys.
Yep. And he does. He comes back and he's like, guess what? This is going to be an easy kill. And it was. So what's your biggest thing? If you're Newbee, what do you take away from this? Do you go and look at these drafts or plays, or what are we looking at?
The second draft just kind of seemed out there, meaning like they were trying to experiment a little too much.
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you're Optic, you see that VP has beaten you, but you beat Newbee. What's one thing you go for Optic after you see that?
Yeah. Well, let's take a break because we actually didn't take one in between games.
Can't even answer
And
30
then when we
seconds?
come back, no.
I
I'm
thought
going to
this was
save
TI.
some stuff for later,
Oh, okay.
all right?
That's fine. Well,
Yeah.
we are going to take a break, so see you in a couple of minutes.
We'll be back with VGJ Thunder versus Windstrike.